The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on the shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth it all the while. Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Here we go.
I hope you had the time of your life.
Yeah, man. You can't go wrong with a little bit of Glenn. Well, you can, because some of them are a little bit dodgy, but... Glenn Campbell. It should be a rule that at the end of every song, the artist or someone sings their own name or the name of the group. Do you know what I mean? Catherine, do you... does that make sense?
Always is my favourite thing.
Yeah, I just think they should. I just think it would be okay. For example, here you go. The beat up,
Yeah, but then in the olden days, there would have been a load of people out of work because their only job was saying, "You've been listening to the Beatles."
You've been listening to the Beatles. Iain Lee, Catherine Boyle, the Late Night Alternative. We're joined by Claire.
Yay! Sorry that just came out. Yay!
She cheered herself.
Yay. Claire Lim, we Claire, if you want to...
tweet me.
Well, if you want to... Now, Claire is a podcaster and a presenter and a game streamer.
New to the streaming game now.
Well, I'm so new to it, I've just quit the streaming.
Yeah.
I've quit.
Did you complete it? Is that why?
I've quit because I was...
You might drop that.
Yeah, totally. I was like, I've been there, done that. But you've started streaming on Twitch, which is what I was doing. And I probably will do more stuff on there, but I was kind of just getting sucked into the numbers of it, and I wasn't enjoying it.
Oh, but you like gaming?
No.
Could
that be the thing?
That could be a problem.
I love gaming. Kath and I would often play games together.
Yeah.
We were playing, what was the game we were playing? A Way Out of Here.
No, A Way Out.
A Way Out.
Mm-hmm.
The prison, two-player prison escape game.
Yeah, that apparently involved like him screaming at me a lot. And me not being able to work the camera.
And it was a lot of me going, look, the other stick moves the camera. But there was also a lot of you pretending that your Wi-Fi was crap and kept dropping out, and you keep going, I can't play today because my Wi-Fi's not any good. So...
Sorry, there's no Wi-Fi in this prison. So
yeah, it was... so we never finished that game.
No.
Are we going
still trapped in prison. Oh, no, we got out, haven't we?
We got out of prison, yeah.
We were holding up gas stations and terrifying old ladies.
You're sounding all American. Well, gas stations.
Yeah, gas stations.
We were off to murder the guy that done us wrong.
Yeah, what was his name again?
Vince.
What is is this game? It sounds amazing.
I thought you were a professional gamer, mate. Sorry, I've invited you onto this show and you don't know nothing.
Is this on the PS4? Because is it in the PS4?
A way out, yeah. And it's 2-player, but you can play it remotely.
One looks like Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Okay.
One looks like...
It does look like Sean Penn, doesn't it?
That was me.
And the other one looks like the older brother from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, one is the brains and one is the brawn. I was like a career criminal. I mean, talk like that. And had a wife and kid
Oh my God,
in a trailer park. And you were in there, and you were in there because you've been stitched up, hadn't you?
Oh, I've been. I was
he's
innocent.
a nice guy.
I was an innocent man.
I really want to play. I'm stuck in Spider-Man world where I've been web slinging around.
That Spider-Man game sucks.
What?
Oh. This is going to be an awkward 53 minutes. Alan and Philip, stay there. We'll come to you in a second.
I love Spider-Man, but yeah, I think I'm very new to the streaming game. But what I quite like, because I used to just be a solo lone wolf gamer.
Yeah.
And what I quite like is what I do for my streams is I throw in a stream theme. So this Saturday we're talking. The stream theme is if I won the lottery.
Oh.
And then I'm a sad organizer, so I come up with like 20 questions, and then every 10 minutes I just throw them into the chat.
This is something we should probably consider doing on this show. Prep.
Oh, we've done it before, but
Prep.
it never works, does it?
So yeah, that's and I sit there in my pajamas with my laptop going, right guys, 1 second, stop chatting, I have the next question. Because I'm a militant communicator.
One of the and I've watched because we're both fans of Limmy.
Yes.
Is that how because you came to my stream, is that how you found...
Yeah, Limmy was talking to you, and then I watched you play Monopoly at one point with Limmy.
I beat him.
And I thought...
He won't mention that. He never mentions it. But I beat him.
Me and my husband thought it was bloody hilarious.
Yeah. Oh.
And then, I think you were there's connections on Twitter, and then I started following and stuff, and I used to watch the 11 o'clock show and stuff anyway, and things like that. And then that was it. And then I thought, I'll just watch your stream, because I was new to streaming, and your stream was very chilled.
Very low energy.
It wasn't like...
stream.
It wasn't that kind of gaming chair, chroma key background.
Here's the thing, right? My boys... we were 0344 499 1000. By the way, we just got Claire in because I was just doing her podcast, which we'll talk about in a bit, so we can plug that. And I just thought it'd be nice if you came and hung out for an hour and we have a slightly geeky chat. Usual rules apply, dear listener. You can call in about anything. If you want to talk about gaming, you can. If you want to talk about, carry on. If any of the racists that were calling me out for calling them racists can turn off pictures of Stephen Yaxley Lennon, stop masturbating to Tommy Robinson, and then use their phones to actually phone me up, you'd be very, very welcome, you thick idiots. 0344 welcome, Claire. 034 this is the show. 0344 499 1000. If any racist idiots or fans of Tommy Robinson want to phone me up and have a go, then do. Or if you just want to have a pop at me behind your pictures of the flag of St George and your made up names on Twitter, you carry on doing that, because I ain't got Twitter open, so I can't see it. But we're in my territory now. This ain't your show. I can't think what I was going to build up to a point, but I can't remember it. So, what I'm saying is, let's go to Alan Caddick. Good evening, Alan.
Hi, boss. Hi, Claire.
Hey, how are you doing? Oh, hi.
I can just say, how quickly, Catherine.
I know, completely replaced. No, it doesn't matter.
Elbowed.
Forget it.
Elbowed to one side. That's outrageous.
Brutal.
Brutal indeed. Well, Alan, who would you like to perv over tonight?
I think we both know.
I've got a gaming question for Claire.
Oh God, here we go. This is where I get found out. Okay.
Just before we start, Alan, Tinder is not a game.
If I play with my joystick,
No, not to do with Tinder, Cat.
if I rub my joystick too much, then some white oil comes out.
Oh my God!
What? Can you help me?
That sounds like a bad working joystick. Anyway,
it's a Kempson.
Sorry,
yes.
Al, off you go. What do you want to ask?
What was your favourite retro console of all time?
Oh, okay, retro consoles. Okay, so I grew up on the Atari in the late 80s, early 90s.
The 2600.
What was that?
The Atari 2600.
Yeah, the Atari...
Why were you... No, not the one with the wooden panel
No,
thing.
I had like a keyboard. Okay, I just had to do it on the keyboard. Yeah. And but I would say like my favourite, I guess it's a retro console now, is probably the Dreamcast.
Yes, mate, here we go.
The Dreamcast is really... Yeah, the Dreamcast is really great because that's where I discovered Soul Calibur.
Yes,
and
mate.
see, my parents bought it for both me and my little brother. but my brother took it into his room, and I hardly ever saw it ever again. But I became very obsessed with Soul Calibur. But I've had like all the Nintendo consoles, the NES, the SNES, the GameCube, all of that kind of stuff.
The Game Boy?
Yeah, Game Boy.
No, Alan's just describing himself there. That's what that was. That was an advert for him. I'm a Game Boy.
The first time my dad took us to go get a Game Boy, and this was like, I was only used to playing those little games where it's like there's one game in this little machine.
Yeah, the Game & Watch.
Yeah, I used to just play with those. And so we went to, I don't know, some shop in Glasgow, and then we got this Game Boy, and I was obsessed, and we got Tetris and a Super Mario game. But then my brother took it into his room, and I barely ever saw
Your brother sounds, excuse my language, like a dick, doesn't he?
It's fine, we don't talk.
Oh, in that case. I filmed a TV series up in Glasgow, Thumb Bandits, about computer games. It was not a very good series at all, and it's kind of one of the many stains on my CV. But Alex Krotowski, who I did it with, took me to, in Glasgow, there used to be a really tiny little video game store that sold everything. I think he may have sold hooky stuff, but I bought there, excuse me for a second, geeks, I bought a Japanese GameCube when it just came out. You could flick a switch and it could play English games.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
mate.
nerd levels rising.
Yes, mate.
I tell you, as well as that, when we got the PC, blew my mind when we got a PC and we had like things like ICQ chat and MSN and all these things. But we had this game called Riven and Myst.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one.
Oh my god, these games they were incredible. I made the Blade Runner game, because Blade Runner is my favourite film of all time. We had the Blade Runner game for the PC, and it was incredible. I'm going to stop now, because I could
Remember the Commodore Amiga?
yeah, I never had an Amiga, unfortunately.
Alan, just stop mentioning old games consoles that you've never touched.
Googling.
I used to play Lemmings.
Okay, you're going to go play Lemmings. All right, Alan, thanks for calling.
Thanks, bye!
That's how the show works. Let's try 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Philip.
Good evening, Alan.
Sorry?
Good evening.
Alan?
Yeah, sorry. Ian.
What? Hi.
Hi, Philip, how are you doing?
This is awkward, isn't it? Yes, Philip.
Yeah, all right, Ian.
Yes.
Should roll you up.
Sorry?
I want to wish you a Happy New Year.
Oh, well,
Catherine.
thank you so much.
Thanks, Philip.
That's nice. Thank you very much indeed.
No problem.
What are you hoping
that's
that
all
the New Year Bunny's going to bring you this year?
What, me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Hopefully better than last year.
Oh, did last year suck?
Well, I'm not going to it, Ian.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that.
I also want to thank you for you inspired me last year.
Hey, go on, man. Why? Tell me why.
Why? Because I was going through a rough patch.
Yeah.
And, you know, Dave Hill.
Oh, Dave Hill from Slade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I managed to pick up his book.
Yeah.
I started reading it.
Yeah.
And also picked the Beatles up.
You picked the Beatles up.
White Album.
Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. Now we are talking.
Baby.
Yes, man.
Yeah, that's the White Album that's classic, man.
Grab pussy.
It certainly is. That's Paul McCartney. The White Album is great. Oh, well, I'm glad. Listen, Philip, as long as you've got music, then you've always got a friend.
Yeah. It's pulled me out, this music.
Good, I'm glad, man. I'm really glad. Well, I hope you keep pulling yourself... No, hang on. I hope things continue on the upswing. I hope things continue on the upswing, sir.
Right, okay.
All right, mate. Take care, Philip.
Right, cheers now.
Cheers, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well, nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy, wasn't he?
Oh. I hope your New Year's good, Philip, if you're still listening.
At what point, guys, let's have a meeting. At what point when someone phones up and says, wishes me a Happy New Year, do I tell them to get stuffed?
No, not yet.
No.
Whoa. Hang on,
Monday.
Yeah.
You need a weekend to get over it.
It's the 4th.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that already? You don't feel
Yes,
full
mate.
of hope and wonder?
No, of course
We've been
not.
at work for the last 4 days. We're over it.
So my boys came on the 26th, 27th, they left on the 29th. As soon as they left that house, that Christmas tree came down, everything went in the bin. It was done.
Really?
The Yule log
Ours
was
is
in the
still
bin.
up. I just can't be bothered taking it down.
Well, exactly. You're wearing a Christmas... Is this a Christmas jumper?
No, I just like to dress like I'm a child in the 80s.
But it's Christmas tree green and sparkly.
It is, actually, and it is sparkly. Yeah, and I'm wearing boots, like, sort of, I guess it's kind of wintry Christmas.
There you go, you see. It's going Christmas... but no, I've no... I mean, we work New Year's Eve... It's done. It's 2019. Get on with it.
You're forgetting that normal people have only just gone back to work.
Some of them even haven't gone back yet.
Lazy.
Slackers.
They're lazy.
Alistair, have you gone? Do you work?
No, I haven't actually for a while.
Okay, well then pull your finger out, go and get a job. Stop sponging off my taxes. All right, boy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That's life advice to every slacker out there who's signing on. Stop it. Go and get a flipping job, is what I say. I don't really. Alistair, can I come to you after the break?
Yeah, no worries.
Cheers, my dears. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got no internet for the last 4 days.
On Talk Radio.
By the way, this is a game I'm happy to play. I've been arguing with some thickos on thickos and liars and people who are obsessed with people who have sex with children online. And one of them said he wouldn't let his daughter... It was a typo. I picked up on it, of course. I wouldn't let my daughter go to a poo concert. I called him a coprophile. Look it up. It's a very clever word. And then Ollie Hand said, all right, I'll have it. Who would perform at a poo concert? And he started with Take Shat.
Oh, it's gone there, has it?
It's gone straight there. I've gone with the Dung Beatles. Catherine, you had a couple of great ones.
Wow. Stink 182?
There we go, you see?
Shitney Poosting.
Shitney Poosting and
I like
Michael...
Bublé.
There we go. My sister's gone with Ultravox featuring Midge Manure. The Police, Iggy Poo, Kenny Loggins from Dan.
Diarrhea Straight.
There we go. Snoop Loggy Log.
Snoop Loggy Log's a belter.
That's from Shell.
That's great.
Gene Shitney. Okay. The Pooh Fighters, the Yard Turds, W.C. Hammer, Chris Diarrhea.
Oh, I like that as well.
Slash.
Beautiful. Oh, that's nice. That's clean. That's
clean
neat.
One, yes.
That's a nice, neat one.
The Turtle's Head. I don't like that. Diariana. Eartha Kitt, Wind and Fire. All right, fine. The Chemical Toilet Brothers. I quite like that. Scatman Carruthers. Scatman John. Okay, Scat. Fecal Sharky.
Oh, Harry Reid suggested the Small Feces.
There we go.
Nice.
Number 2 pack, Eric Clapton, Nelly Furtado.
I love that one. Yes. I've got one.
Oh, well done, Amy.
John Bon Jovi.
Oh, hey! That's a nice little Scottish thing, because we don't say jobby in England.
It sounds weird when you say
jobby.
it.
I went for a
jobby. It sounds so
polite. Did you see that woman from the X Factor?
Which one?
Scott tweeted. My mate Scott sent it to me. The woman from the X Factor. Let me read this tweet. It's a very funny tweet from Sam Bailey.
All right.
Okay.
So Sam Bailey, official, tweeted. This is on an official Twitter feed, right? Just had a really big poo. It was hard at the top, but got softer. It didn't half hurt my bum. And then
she's left her phone out, hasn't
then the next tweet is, oh, bloody hell, I knew I shouldn't have left my phone unattended.
Oh, God.
The sort of stuff that happens when I leave my laptop over around here.
Runs DMC.
Nice.
Plot will eat itself. I think we're kind of...
I've just thought of another one. I'm going to say it. Gene Chitney.
OK, there we go. Right.
Nice.
I'm happy to take phone calls on that. 0344 499 1000. It's Friday night, you know, it's where we are. I'm happy to take phone calls on that. Or
I feel like we peaked at Slash.
I think we did.
Right.
I think we did.
Peaked at Slash.
It's me, Iain Lee. Catherine Boyle is here. Claire Lim is here. Claire, presenter and podcaster and gamer. We should We should plug, not the one that I've just done, because that will take a while to go, but you invited me to do a podcast ages ago, and ages ago I said yes, and then didn't follow it up because I'm quite slack at things like that. But we've just recorded one. What is it?
It's called Real Imagined Futures.
Yeah.
And it's the podcast that imagines what happened to movie characters after their stories ended.
And the movie I chose was Flight of the Navigator. Classic, which meant I got to watch it again. You've seen Flight of the Navigator?
Yeah, ages ago.
It stands the test of time. The boys love it. It's It's a great film. It's a really good film. But here's my complaint I have. I have a complaint.
Okay.
We were talking about an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But we only spent like 15 minutes talking about what would happen to the characters after the film ended.
Yeah, because we kept meandering.
There's a lot of meandering.
There's a lot of meandering.
There's a lot of...
I think what we decided is we should actually be making the sequel, and I think that's what we decided, that we need to get in touch with
Sequel's
Lionsgate.
dark.
The sequel's very dark. I mean, I don't want to give too much of Ian's episode away, which will be out maybe in 4 or 5 weeks. But Ian went straight to like drugs and straight to like...
what a surprise there.
Yeah. It's like, right, which timeline are we talking about? Because in this one, and I was like, whoa.
The cop that finds the boy 8 years after he's disappeared, in one of the timelines, because it got confusing, but in one of the timelines he turns to crime himself because he's unsatisfied with policing, and he turns to being a drug dealer.
Yep.
He redeems himself. Anyway, it's a very complicated
There's
thing.
redemption, that's all I'm saying. You have to listen to it. It's on Spotify and iTunes.
Hang on, get Iain back, right? It's the second time he's done that. If he's a caller, right, he calls up and just as I'm about to go to him, he disappears. If he doesn't answer this, next time he calls up, I want you to blow a whistle down the phone and deafen him. Okay, that's what I want you to do, Sam. I was just talking to Sam there. Let's talk to Alistair, and then... so what's the podcast called?
It's called Real Imagined Futures.
Yeah, and you've had good people on. Apart from me, you've had actual famous people on.
Dan Fogler from... What's the J.K. Rowling thing? Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race, Pandora Box. We've had R.J. Mitty from Breaking Bad, who's Walt Jr.
Yeah.
We had Sean Gunn.
I like R.J. Mitty because he did Bear Grylls' Island, where celebrities go and live on an island for a month. I was like a what would you call it? Like a substitute. I was a standby in case someone didn't make it. But he did it, and his was great because it was chucking it down with rain. I think he walked out in the end. It was chucking it down with rain, and for a week they couldn't get a fire going, right? And so you can radio for help on this programme, and then the team come out and they start a fire. And he went nuts, going... What are we doing this for? We're either doing this...
Yeah, he's a serious fellow.
Yeah,
he's a serious
so
boy.
funny. We're either doing this and we're roughing it for a month, or we might as well go and stay in a hotel. You've called them over to start a fire.
He chose District 9.
Wow.
And I was trying to make it light-hearted, and he kept going, no, actually, we'd all die. He was just going, woo. But yeah, I've had Sean Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy, all those kind of people. Yeah. But your episode was particularly enjoyable. Probably the best.
There we go. She said that.
So I reckon if you follow on Spotify or iTunes, it'll pop up in the next 4 weeks. Ian's will pop up.
All right. Yes. I don't do this with me, but listen, there are lots of cool people. Let's take a couple of calls and then we'll chat a bit more. Let's go. Oh, Ieuan.
Hello.
What is your beat? Why do you keep phoning up and then hanging up?
I haven't. It's my signal, and what it is, I've been to prison. I come home on Monday. And my mum has moved, and obviously she takes my phone with her, and the signal is shit. It's really bad.
So what? Am I allowed to ask why you went to prison?
Yeah, if you want to. So in South Wales, we have a police called Gwent Police, and it's threats to kill, criminal damage, and an assault towards them. Because
man, come on, man. What led you to that, dude?
Well, I got mental health really badly, and if I don't have my medication, I go a bit nuts. So where was I went a bit nuts on my mum. She ran the police on me. They took my phone off me. They let me go. I got angry. They took my phone off me, and then they went nuts.
Oh, mate. All right. Well, how long were you in prison for?
16 weeks. I was on the 10th of September. I come home on Monday, the 31st. And I'm 18 now. I was 18 on Monday.
And here's the thing: I've never been to prison, right? But how?
That's why I rang. Sorry, just because I thought you'd been in prison, and obviously I like radio, so I thought I would like a well-known radio presenter to ask me questions. Illegal to mention on radio about.
Well, is George Galloway still in the building? Can we get? Well,
yeah.
what was it like in prison, you naughty boy?
Pardon?
What was it like in prison?
It was all right. You had your ups and downs. I'm quite lucky that I had a lot of visits and like family days, and I had education, association with us. But I got beat up a few times. I wasn't too pleasant.
What did you get beaten up for?
Because if I didn't like the people, it was cocky. I would tell them to their face I was in. I hate
Mate.
none of this backstabbing. I don't like backstabbing. We've got problems.
The thing is, they do literal backstabbing in prison. You got to be careful. Come on.
I know, but it's like I said to him, it's better to learn the lesson sooner rather than later. And then
They had to learn their lesson sooner. Right? Well, gosh, I'm glad prison has calmed you down.
Yeah, sorted me out. But really, they was friends with me afterwards because they know that they hate me. They was the one in the wrong. They had the punishment, not me.
Well, what lesson have you learnt from the whole experience?
Well, obviously, you've got two different parts of the prison. So you've got one between 15 men.
No, I don't. Not about what. Not. I want to know what life lesson.
Spiritual lesson.
Yeah. What is the big thing you've walked away from?
But really, obviously, that's what I'm about to say, that you've got two parts. You've got children's part and the adults part. And basically, I'm learning that I'm lucky that I was in the children's part, because if he was in the adults, there would be a total different kettle of fish to the stories I used to do.
What I was trying to get out of you was you saying something along the lines of, I've learnt to always take my medication, not kick off with my mum, not threaten to kill coppers, and
not to go near any police stations to prison again, because that's not prison.
That's the thing, man. You don't want to go back there, do you, brother?
The police want me now to do a shift when I'm later this year to see what they do on the shift, to see, we don't just treat you this bad because you done this. This is how we do it to other people. So they want me to do a shift based code.
That might be a good idea. I bet that would be really interesting.
Yeah, because they could fought for some reason I was going to carry out, because I didn't just make threats to them. If you ring 999, they'll go to the headquarters, and I know where it is, and they got a bit worried about.
All right, man. Well, listen, give us a call next week, and we'll have a chat again. But I'm glad you're out of prison. Just stay cool, man.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, and have a lovely rest of your radio show.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, that is potentially a changed spirit, changed soul.
Yeah.
He's a colourful one, is Ieuan. But prison for 16 weeks, only a young lad.
Isn't it a shame it's come to that, though?
Isn't it, though? Yeah, isn't it? It is. And Sally!
Hello.
Hello, Sally.
I've got some poo names
Here
for
we go.
you.
Yes.
This is it, man. We are in.
Put it up, Sally. Put it up.
I've got quite a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Hold on. Yoko, oh no, I didn't make it.
Oh, come on. That's actually quite good for one of our listeners.
It's not beating Slash for me right now.
Oh, that's the level, yes.
Okay. Crusty Shit, Nash and Dung.
Whoa!
Oh, you've gone dark. You've gone dark with your toilet names.
Sally, jeez, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, keep going, Sally. I'm curious to tell us a few more.
Okay, the Moody Poos.
Oh, yeah, okay, I like that one.
We're back. We're back, yeah.
Okay, you're
Barbara Streisand.
No, you've.
I actually dumped that one. Thanks very much for your call.
Oh, Sally went dark. Sally went dark, but thank you, Sally.
This is a weird. I like this. This is a weird vibe tonight. It's partly because there's a third person in the thing. It always creates a bit of weirdness.
You know what it is?
They're showing off.
Exactly.
They're showing off to you, Claire.
This
is them showing off.
Because they can get away with stuff with you that they can't get away with me.
Yeah. This is them showing off.
I would like everyone to behave.
Good luck, mate.
And actually, I've got a question for the viewers and you guys.
Yeah, go on.
If you could travel to the future or the past, but you can only spend a day in the future or a day in the past, where would you go and why?
It's always got to be the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
really? Why would you go to the past? They had, even as recently as maybe 40 years ago, they had outside toilets, and you'd wipe your bum with newspaper.
To go to New York in the sort of 80s or something, or
what?
I don't know.
I was around in the 80s. I
can watch a film with that. I can watch a film with that. I would go at least 50 years forward.
Oh, okay.
Just so it's near enough so I can see a progression.
No, I would go 1,000 years.
To the Planet of the Apes times.
Is that official? I didn't realise that was a definite
with the way we're going now
thing. Oh, I would definitely go to the future. Who cares about Victorian times or caveman times or go back and see the Beatles? No, you wouldn't. a stupid thing to say. I would be. What would you do?
I would go to the future as well. I was just being contrary. I was like, really?
Well, hang on. Let's
You
ask.
wouldn't?
Let's ask. Alistair.
Hi, Alistair.
Yeah.
Would you go to? Where would you go? The future or the past?
I'd probably go to the past, actually.
Oh.
I'd go to the alleged date of Christ's crucifixion.
Oh, he wants to watch a man on the cross.
Okay, so when exactly is that?
Oh, no, I'd have to ask the computer.
Well, first of all, the internet won't work back then.
Alexa.
It would be. Well, we could work it out. You could work it out. He died at 32 or 33.
30, wasn't he?
No. Bruce Lee died. Bruce Lee died at 32. I think.
I don't think they were great with birthdays back then, though.
Yeah, I don't think it.
Mate, the whole story's made up anyway, right? It's not real.
I'm just saying we're going to lose Alistair.
Oh well, that's the risk I'm prepared to take. So basically, we'll go to if you go back in time to 32, right?
Mm-hmm. And it was a Friday.
That narrows it down.
Good Friday.
Oh, you can only go back for a day, though.
You can only go Friday, and it's a bit risky. You going back in your normal civilian 2019 clothes, looking like a freak in that time. You would get killed immediately.
Also, Alistair, you're an idiot, right? Don't go back on the day he died. Go and hang around flipping Golgotha and see if he turns up again 3 days later.
Actually, yeah, you've got a good point there, Kath.
Sorry, Gethsemane, not Golgotha. Golgotha's the scene of the crime.
Is it the rolling...
You with your goals and your Geths.
I know this
No, Gethsemane. No, Gethsemane was the
Gardens of Gethsemane was where the Holy Spirit reappeared.
Incorrect.
No, correct.
Incorrect. That's where... No, Gethsemane... No, I will not have this.
Golgotha is the crucifixion ground.
I don't care about Golgotha.
Look what you've done, Alistair. Look what you've done.
People always fighting over religion. Gethsemane was the garden... where he'd just go for like a little think. I've been to Gethsemane, mate, actually. I've been there. So I probably know a little bit more about it than you.
All right, let me just check
go online and have a look on your computer.
Let's see.
You go and change Wikipedia, then point me to the Wikipedia page. She's done that before,
Let's have a
Claire.
little look.
Actually, hacked into... Someone's disagreed with her on air. She's gone to Wikipedia, changed the facts.
Yeah, you're right. They slept the night before the crucifixion.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. You see, this is the sort of mistake you want to avoid, Alistair, otherwise you're going to end up in the middle of nowhere with nothing happening.
Don't be so silly, Kath.
Right.
Thank you, Alistair.
Thanks, Alistair.
Cheers, bud.
Gethsemane.
Where was the stone rolled away then?
Who cares?
Bible boy.
It's irrelevant.
I wouldn't go back to those times because you would spawn into the world and then you would die immediately because people would stab you, hang
they were
you,
just stabbing and hanging you
crucify
randomly.
you. I'm just imagining that anything before.
Did you hear something I learnt the other day?
What's that?
That in the olden days of gladiators, what's that, like Roman times?
Yeah, Roman times.
We've lost Catherine as she tries to find a fact that I don't know, which is going to be tough.
Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Jerusalem, or the Garden Tomb outside Jerusalem. It's a bit of a punt, Alistair. Good luck.
I've been to that Church of the Holy Sepulchre.
Have you? Anything happening?
Yeah, I tell you what was happening there. There was loads of American women. You can rent a cross and carry it from the church to the mount where they think no one's quite sure exactly where it was. But you can carry the cross, the path that Jesus carried the cross on his way to be executed. And there are people doing that.
Yeah, pilgrimage. They do it in Spain in Holy Week every single year. Walk them through...
nut jobs.
Walk them through Seville. Barefoot.
But so here's what they used to do. Before the gladiators in Roman times, and they were going to put this in the film Gladiator, they was all set to be in there, and someone said, no one's going to believe it, so you can't put that in there. The gladiators in the Colosseum, do you know what they do?
Have it off.
Claire, do you know?
No, what did they do?
They should have let them.
What did they do?
They would do adverts.
What?
They would do adverts for and I don't know what products. I heard it on something the other day. They would do adverts, and they would like hold up signs and go, you know, smoke these tabs. Oh, it probably wasn't cigarettes, but they would do
Lots,
adverts
tongues,
and
and
stuff.
badgers' noses.
Maybe for like an advert for like the bread stall outside.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like...
And then they batter the whatever out of each other. Isn't that great? I don't know where I heard
Julius's Jewels, come down, half price,
So,
that kind of thing.
So they're like sponsored.
Yeah, and they were going to put it in the film Gladiator, and the producer said, "Well, no, it's too ridiculous. No one's going to believe that." Isn't it a funny old world?
How
did I learn that?
How bizarre.
Maybe that was that. It might have been in Eric Idle's book, actually. Anyway, that's by the by. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We've got Claire here for another 20 minutes if you want to ask her anything about video games, about... I want to talk in a second, and we talked a little bit about this, but about being a woman online, because as far as I'm aware, you've only had one slightly weird request. I know you've had a few, Catherine. I want to talk about that in a bit. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Busy old night tonight. I just made the mistake of going to the Talk Radio Facebook page. That page it's worse than the Daily Mail online comment section. They've posted the video of me arguing with a massive racist. Let's have a look at some of the...
It's all about them hits.
I think White Working Class History Month would be more appropriate, says Mike James, as we are now the most marginalised people in the UK today. Lee says, Iain Lee, you are a penis.
That's a good old school
That's a strong male organ.
Yes.
Paul Foster says, lost the argument at calling Mr. Robinson racist. Twat. OK. Doesn't he know, says Ernie, doesn't he know white males can be the abuse victims of racists and nothing will be said? I really would not recommend going to and this isn't me doing a reverse psychology, don't go and look at the Talk Radio Facebook page. It's a cesspit. Cesspit.
You know what perplexes me, and I see it online and retweets and things like that, and it really boggles the mind, because actually when you break everything down and everything away, politics and everything like that, all we want are the same things, really. We want good education for our children. We want good hospitals. We want to lead a healthy life.
We want Brexit, and we want less brown people here. That's all we want.
And then you add all these other bits and pieces, and then all of a sudden people... And the thing is, I've had great I didn't vote for Brexit. I wanted to remain in the EU, but I've had great conversations and really meaningful conversations with people of the opposite thing.
Yeah, of course you can.
And you can absolutely speak to each other in a nice way without
you can, though.
You can, and you can still be
think,
friends.
I think that it's tapped into something which is... Right, you've got a lot of frightened, insecure men at the moment who are speaking up on Twitter, right? Freedom of speech and everything, because they don't like how you've used your freedom of speech, or they feel threatened by your freedom of speech. And it feeds into this kind of... These are people who are feeling helpless at the moment. Mm-hmm. And rather than looking within and seeing what it is about their life that maybe they could change, or what it is that they feel is holding them back, they look at who is getting one over on them. And it's so much easier to do that. Point the finger, get angry about it, and about a group of things or people about which they can do nothing.
It's true.
Because if they realised what it was that was really bothering them, they'd have to do something about it.
It's true, and you're completely right, Kath. Anything in life, no matter who you are, what gender you are, what race you are, sexuality, when we look inside just for a wee moment, you can kind of come back out and go, oh, actually, and we can actually talk to people and have a conversation. I was a victim of racism when I was very young. Got spat on, I got pushed into a rose bush of thorns and stuff, and the spitting thing, that was really horrible.
But racist, racist from whom?
Because my dad's Chinese and my mum's Scottish.
Okay, right.
So some people pick up on that and some people don't. And I don't get that much bother at all anymore. Really, I really don't. But when I was younger, I looked much more Oriental than I do now. And it's horrible. And you can grow up and you can be really spiteful towards the white man or spiteful towards whatever. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's like, you get one life and one chance to this. So just look inside for a moment and be nice to each other.
This is the problem. As Cher once said, the love supply ain't meeting the love demand.
I mean, she's so right.
I love that. I love that so much.
AP on Twitter has got 3. I'm going to do them in ascending order.
Okay.
Frank Crapper. Captain B. Fart. Captain B. Fart.
That's quite... Is he hyphenating that?
I'm not sure what he's doing with it. But here's my favourite from AP. Well done.
Okay.
Squeeze.
AP, you have just surpassed slash. We have surpassed the slash-o-meter.
Thank you, Ollie Hand, for starting that.
We need a kind of a
Now, listen, we were talking. This is something we kind of talk about a little bit, and I have obviously very little experience because I'm a white guy, and so I don't get the. We've had
and a cook.
Sorry?
A cuck.
I don't know what you said then. I'm a great cuck. I can do some wonderful
I thought you said cook for a second. I was like, are you a good cook?
I'm learning, actually. And we've had problems with a gentleman who used to listen to this show who we found out was sending dick pics to some of our listeners. And one by one, a couple of, I think about 4 women in total, maybe 5, got in touch. So just let you know, this guy is sending me pictures and it's still, and we kind of called him out for it. You've had dick pics,
but
not from this guy, from someone.
No, my DMs are closed, but even so, I've had people sending me stuff on.
But just a spontaneous, not even
not someone I've had any.
A warming up of hi, how are you?
No.
Second one, here's my todger.
Hey, that's the warm.
Usually it's hey, are you up? Isn't it? That's what they do late at night.
I see what he's done there.
But not even that. Just straight out of the blue, out of the gate with his knob out.
Wow.
Because apparently that's what women want.
Now, Claire, you've got a very high online presence with Twitter and Instagram. You're doing all the hashtags before you came on, and you're now streaming on Twitch. And I know you had a weird one.
I was on Twitch a couple of nights ago, and we were chatting about what were we chatting about? Oh, we were chatting about Star Wars, really random thing because I've obviously my stream themes, and then this guy just appeared and went, "Show us your armpits." And my mods, I've got 2 mods, and they picked up on it, and they went, no, don't time him out. I actually want to see where he goes with this. Because I actually, when that kind of thing happens, I'm very lucky on Twitter at the moment. I mute people that are a wee bit rude, but I try and promote as much positivity as possible. It doesn't mean that I'm a wholly positive person all the time, but I like to ask people questions and incite debate, and I'm quite positive. But this, I was just like, really? I just make a joke out of things. Like, you really want to see my hairy armpits? Like, is this really where you want to go with that?
Don't give him details. That's what they want.
Yeah, I wonder. You really want to see this?
Do you think it was an ill-judged joke? Or do you think it was a sexual...
I don't know. That's the thing, because... There was another guy that came on, and he was more kind of like, hey sexy, hey beautiful, that kind of thing.
Hey sexy lady.
I'm like, I'm in my pyjamas and not wearing makeup. So I was like, but hey, good for... And I just bat back, like, you can call me Claire. How are you today? And you find very quickly people get bored and they switch off.
Yeah.
I wonder whether there's an element of, sometimes I think they want to see you feel uncomfortable.
Nothing like that makes me uncomfortable. I just feel like, see, anything online, this is how I think about online. Online is an unreal Sims world that doesn't exist in my head, and I just put things out there, but this is real. I'm seeing you guys. This is real. And so no matter what happens, AI or whatever, I'm going to use it and use it for work, but it's not real to me. It's just not real. So nothing hurts me from that world.
I have moments of, like, arguing with these idiots tonight, and what's surprised, none of them have called in. Guys... tonight, I saw
Mum won't let him use the phone.
No, exactly. But I saw it as playing a video game when I was out there tweeting. A lot of abuse. I was doing it because the abuse I was tweeting I thought was very imaginative and was making me laugh a lot. And it felt like a video game to me. But there are huge swathes of my life where it isn't like that, and I can't do that disconnecting thing, and I do kind of carry it. I have in the past carried it around and go, oh my God, someone said the show was crap tonight and I'm a dick, and maybe they're right, and maybe I'm, and I tends to more often than not buy into the stuff.
It's really easy, isn't it? You'll get a lot of really nice stuff, but it's like, if talking to stand-ups, they might kill one night, but the only thing they see is the bloke in the front with his arms folded, right? Because why can't I get him? Why? He knows he's the cleverest. He must be the cleverest one in the room. Sees through me. That whole thing. But you've got. Here's what, and I talk him down quite a lot, and he talks me down quite a lot, because the deal with, and you're right. You've got a really healthy attitude to it, Claire. It's not real. They don't think you're going to read it half the time. They don't think you're a real person.
Yeah.
They don't think beyond bang, 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 knocking that flipping message out and going away. It might be wine time. They might have had a bad day. You're not a real person. They're never going to see you. It's just a hit and run.
I mean, I read something a while ago that psychologically humans are actually programmed to remember bad news and bad things more than they are good.
I guess it's survival.
So it is. Yeah, it is survival, and it makes sense. Then that some people are way more sensitive to hearing that bad. I mean, if I think back to certain points in my life, go, oh, that was bad, and what were my 20s really like? I mean, but actually, there's a lot of good things, and that's why I'm looking at my phone right now. This is the gateway to the Sims world that isn't real. And if I keep saying that, fine. If someone comes at me and they want to hurt me in real life, that affects me way, way more.
we've got a really good caller coming up. We've got David in a minute, but before that, let's just get through some chaff and some of the more rubbish, more of the rubbish callers that we won't spend much time with these guys. We'll just rattle through them, then we'll get to the good call. It's let's go to Barry from Watford. Good evening, Barry. We haven't got much time, Barry. About 30 seconds, mate.
Let me speak. You've been all nice about people, and I was phoning up in the spirit of love to ask you over for dinner.
Who?
You.
Me?
Would you like to come to dinner?
What do you want?
At my house.
Yes, what do you want from me, Barry?
Nothing. I won't charge you. Bring us a starter or maybe some wine or...
I don't drink, Barry, and I don't really want to come... I make a point of... Shut up.
Fizzy pop.
I make a point of never eating food prepared by the listeners.
Vegetarian, I'll do. Some of that muck you like.
All right. I'm not really interested, Barry. Why do you want me to come...
Tomorrow night?
Not tomorrow night, no. Tomorrow night is my night off. I'm having a nice, lazy night watching the telly.
Shirley's coming.
Who?
Shirley, Margaret's niece.
Oh, here we go.
Shirley's coming.
Are you trying to fix me up with Shirley again?
You know she's got the glad eye for you.
She's got the glad eye and she keeps it in a box.
Well, it doesn't matter. She showed you that once and she thought you'd be impressed.
I was not impressed when...
If she puts it in, will you come?
Well, she puts it in where? Last time I showed her, she got drunk and she put the glass eye up her bum and bent over and said, I can see you.
She did, but I promise she won't do that at the
She can't see through that eye, can she? That was just like a joke. That wasn't...
Well, she can't see through that eye when she put it up there.
No. The thing was, it was looking the other way. Anyway.
It's funny, it followed you around the room, didn't it?
Well, it did when she rolled it at me, yes. Because your house is built on a slope. So, no... Yes?
I might get her to do that. It was an amazing trick, wasn't it?
It was.
We got her on that high stool at the table.
Yes.
And she just finished the starter, and you said you should have regaled her with more stories if you didn't want to see her eyes.
Well, here's the thing. It was hard to get. It was hard to get any stories in because she was singing that song. Do you remember that song she was singing to me?
Oh, I've got an eye up me bum bum.
That famous tune, Eye Up Me Bum Bum.
I've got an eye up me bum.
I'm gonna take you there when it's half bare and Ian's gonna yum yum yum.
Well, there's yum in this.
It was such an unpleasant night, Claire. Oh, that was it. All right, Barry. Okay, Barry, we've got the idea. We got the idea.
It was clever how she made it wink, though, wasn't it?
What?
Catherine did a funny line. You missed it, Barry. Do you want to hear it again so you can use it?
Yeah, please.
Go on.
I said it was clever how she made it wink, though, Barry, wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
Okay. Barry,
it stink as well.
Oh, dear God. Absolutely no interest in coming whatsoever, mate.
Well, I'll tell her not to do the eye trick. But if she comes along and I do some vegetarian muck for you.
Okay, well, I'm not a vegetarian anymore, Barry.
You're not?
No.
Even better for an evening meal. We'll do the full steak and chips if you like.
Okay.
Just a minute. Shirley, no, I don't want to know that. She looks very disappointed,
isn't it?
Oh,
I'm surprised I'm surprised she's sober enough to hear you.
Well, she's just lying on the couch here winking at me now. What's that?
Well, what's she winking with?
with her eye. Her false eye.
Where is it tonight, Barry?
Where it was before.
What a disgusting bum bum. Yeah. When she said she was going to let me rifle through her iTunes, I didn't know it was going to be a load of songs about eyes up her bum bum. Okay. Well, thank you for calling back, Barry. Barry, I would put a fork in the bottle of wine, put it in the fridge, and you go to bed now. All right?
All right. Mama, all right.
Okay, that's Barry there.
That'll end in tears. He'll fall over or something. He's too giddy.
Let's quickly talk to David, and then... hello, David.
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
It's none of your business.
I hear that, you hear that on LBC now, and people going, how you doing? I hear that, and everybody speaks absolutely. Please, no one say it absolutely.
So I've been saying for ages, I don't want anyone to say it. It's no one's business how I'm doing.
Oh, no, just...
what you got for us, David?
Right. So, feeling a bit down and neat, mate.
Well, listen, stay. Can you come back after the news?
Well, if you want to. I've got loads to talk about.
Well, then we'll come back and we'll talk after news, because I want to say goodbye to Claire first. Claire, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so
much for asking me on your podcast. I'm sorry that I'm rubbish at sorting it out. So to remind people what it's called, and you don't need to tell people where they can get it from, because you can get it on iTunes.
Google it.
Or your usual. But people, we posted a link to our podcast on iTunes. Is there anywhere we can get it that isn't Apple owned?
Just check out my Twitter, WeClaire, or WeClaire here on Instagram, or WeClaire.com, and all of my stuff's on there. All my interviews and all that kind of jazz, all my BBC stuff and things. You can check that all there.
Oh, BBC! Look at that. You see, got that in, didn't she? Proper.
Totes professional.
We've both left the BBC under a cloud.
Oh no,
cloud.
sorry, I take it was a brown cloud as well.
Steady on.
Oh,
and it's CLAIRE.
That's it.
You're covering all bases with that, Claire.
Yep.
And you're off to the States now.
I'm going to be in LA next week for work, and I'm going to be appearing in a show called Collider Movie Talk, and it's their flagship movie program.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm going to be talking about movie stuff.
Take
obviously.
us to America, please.
Oh my God, it's 20 degrees right now.
Please take us to America and get us jobs.
I would love
I hate this place, and I hate this radio station. I hate my bosses. I hate the
No, who
callers.
would talk to Barry?
No, exactly. I don't want to know where we are. Please get us out of this hellhole that is Talk
Barry
Radio.
needs you.
Thank you, Claire. So nice to see you and meet you at
Thank
last.
you.
Thank you very much. Wasn't I supposed to watch something? And
Split.
Split.
Split. You've seen Unbreakable.
Yeah.
You've got to watch Split and then watch the trailer for Glass.
Boom, we're in. David's gone. We'll come back to you in a bit, David. We'll see if we can get you back. Dear listener, the normal service resumes 0344 499 1000. Another 2 hours of this rubbish. It's the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee and Katherine Boyle, weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to, in my room, in my room, in my room, in this world I lock out all my worries and my fears, in my room, in my room, in my room. Do my dreaming and my scheming, lie awake and pray. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. Now it's dark and I'm alone, but I won't be afraid. In my room, in my room, in my room, in my room, in my room.
There we go, dear listener. Here we go. We'll stop there. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. The late night alternative with Iain Lee and Katherine Boyle on Talk Radio. Lovely to see you.
Yeah.
You're right. You seem a little... I've not really seen you tonight because I was recording with Claire for an hour or so before.
I know. It feels a bit discombobulating.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You look a bit grey.
I am a bit grey today.
What's wrong?
I'm really tired.
Hey.
I'll be all right. Got the weekend. Except I haven't.
Why? Your mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had the boys there. We went for a nice swim at Coral Reef in Bracknell with the slides. I thought, because my boys are still off on Christmas holiday, and I thought, well, everyone's going to be back. We'll go nice and early. Opens at 10:30 in the Friday morning. We'll get there. Got there at 10:15, and it was open. What? And obviously everybody had exactly the same idea as me. It was rammed in there. It was rammed. And I stood at the top of the queue for the slides. I only did one slide because the queues went on for flipping ages. And I'm stood there in my trunks, my swimmers, wet. And a guy turned around and said, "Hello, mate. I heard what you did the other day with that bloke. I just want to shake your hand."
Oh.
And I said, "OK." Although I do feel weird shaking a semi-nude gentleman. I do feel a little bit weird about it. But it was nice, wasn't it?
We were both wearing pants.
Struggling to talk. I've got mouth ulcers. I've got a mouth ulcer. And I've had them for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. I had one on the right-hand side, then one on the left, then it went, and the one on the left is back again.
Tongue-related injuries are the most irritating because you can't stop pressing and probing.
Oh.
I burnt my tongue over Christmas, and it's only just right now.
Did you buy me Bonjela?
No.
Someone gave me a tube of Bonjela, I think, but I don't know where it is now, which makes me think
I recommended something else because I don't think Bonjela sticks.
I don't know, it does a bit. The best mouth injury is when you have a cheese pizza that's too hot and you burn the roof of your mouth, and then you get a full-on blister on the top of your mouth, and you burst it with your tongue, and the blister juice, it hits your tongue. Oh, it's great, man. It is great. That stuff should be... The blister juice is like... yes, line one, what do you want?
Is this Talk Radio?
Yes.
I'd like to talk to Iain and Katherine, please.
May I ask who's calling?
It's Susan from Exeter.
Sorry, I was just doing a shift working at another radio station. You sound a lot like a caller we had there called Karen.
No, I've been told that, but it's not Karen.
Because I was just doing...
Is this Iain?
Huh?
No.
So, She's nearly had you then.
Isn't it? The most valuable, expensive thing in the world, apart from ink, printer ink.
Oh, yeah, it's that stuff you get out of Wales.
Whale vomit.
Yeah.
Whale vomit.
What's it called? Ambergris.
Ambergris. Ambergris.
And we smear it all over ourselves.
Oh, beautiful. Cover me in that stuff. Let me just take this call. You take this call. Ready? Steady.
Hello, Talk Radio.
Hello, Katherine. I'd like to give Iain some advice about his mouth ulcers.
OK, I'll just put you on hold. It won't be a second.
Hello, Talk Radio. Hello. Hello, Katherine. I'd like to give Iain some advice about his mouth ulcers. OK, just put you on hold. It won't be a second. Hello, Iain. I think you need vitamin B's. Hello. Iain, Katherine, where are you? I'd like to give you some advice about them. Hello, Iain. I think you need vitamin B's. Why aren't you talking to me this evening? Aren't you communicating, Iain? Katherine, where are you? I'd like to give you some advice. Oh, well, if that's how you feel, good evening to you. Goodbye.
03444991000. This is why Twitter should be closed during the show. Because now I've got these people. Alice Bluebell.
Oh.
It must irk you, Iain, that Tommy Robinson is a huge international success. Really, no longer on the fringes, his popularity grows. Why do you think that is? I'll tell you why, because there's a huge rise in the far right, and people are looking for an answer. And whenever, things are tough, it's easy to look at foreigners and dark people and people who pray to a different God than it is to look at our own government and look within ourselves. Step out of your echo chamber and take a peek around. I'm all right, thanks, Alice.
He's a huge success.
You step out of your echo chamber, you thicko!
Huge success, but as a human being...
Look, she hashtags Geert Wilders
Yeah. She's telling her mates in the echo chamber.
Oh, go away, you silly woman. Go away. It doesn't irk me. I couldn't give a stuff about wife beater Stephen Yaxley Lennon and mortgage fraudster. It doesn't bother me. It saddens me a little bit. I'm not really that bothered that a man who, has got bent mortgages and slaps women around. Hey, listen, if you guys are getting a hard-on for a guy that batters women, that's fine. That's fine. That's what you're supporting. Then you go and do that. I just happen to think he's a scumbag, low-life racist. That's all I think. Hey, it's just free speech, guys. Don't gang up on me. It's just free speech. And obviously, by me saying that, that means I condone Muslim rape gangs. Of course I condone those guys. I'm funding those guys. Me saying I'm anti-Tommy Robinson means I'm cool with men of Pakistani descent raping white children. Of course, I'm cool with that. Of course I'm cool with that. Obviously. You don't need to point it out. You're all so thick. You're all so thick. 0344 499 1000. Let's close Twitter, because it doesn't help, does it?
No.
So it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Let's close Twitter. Let's make this full screen, and let's... celebrate.
You're a pervert.
Ian, I'm going to bed, but I want to know why you're not talking to me.
Just shut it, pal.
Please. Pardon?
Just shut it, pal.
Celebrate.
I don't understand what you're saying to me, but
Please don't go.
Catherine, what have you got for us? Have we got the papers? Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I brought them.
There we go.
In.
What have you got?
Do you know what? I'm really interested. This isn't a fun or happy story, but I'm really interested in the R. Kelly documentary's been screened in America.
I shall
he
be
is
watching.
not happy.
Well, it's 6 parts, I think. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So part 1 has been screened?
Part 1 went out on Lifetime.
I shall be watching that tomorrow. I will find it online, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's threatening to sue.
Well,
of course he is.
okay, hang on, this is the thing. Sue. So it's a documentary where several women are claiming they were sexually abused.
Yeah.
By R. Kelly,
kept as kind of sexual prisoners.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you are somebody with grounds to sue, you can threaten to sue to stop something going out. But once it's out, if you've got grounds to sue, go and sue. So don't threaten to sue. It's out there now. Sue. If you're innocent, sue. I don't know the story. I don't know what's going on. But if what's his name? Richard.
Robert.
Okay. Robert Kelly. If that programme has got stuff in it that's untrue, you sue the asses off them, man. You will make a fortune. You'll get that TV station closed down. I mean, it's very, very unlikely that they had it checked by a team of lawyers who went through it with a fine-tooth comb and fact-checked and double and triple and quadruple checked everything that was said. It's very, very unlikely. So you might as well just go and sue them. I
saw John Legend tweeting about his involvement in the documentary, saying he doesn't give an F about risk-taking, that he believes the women, and he had to speak out and he was not going to support it.
I heard a song by John Legend the other day. That man's got some voice.
He's amazing.
He's got some voice on him, that boy. It was incredible.
Yeah, he seems like a nice fella as well.
Yeah, well, he's a legend.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Bird-brained film fans' deadly craze. Netflix calls on blindfolded fools.
No.
Netflix calls on blindfolded fools to end their madness. Netflix last night. So I can't. This mouth ulcer. I can't. I'm not.
It's interfering with your diction.
I'm not as slick on the tongue as I would like to be, because it catches my teeth in it. Netflix last night urged fans not to take part in a dangerous online challenge inspired by its horror film Bird Box. In the post-apocalyptic movie, Sandra Bullock's character and her children wear blindfolds. Here's what I didn't get about that film. Right, so it's a film on Netflix. And for the 90 minutes on, I really enjoyed it. The ending sucks. But for the 90 minutes on, I thought, I'm really enjoying it. Then the more I think on it, the more I think, well, it wasn't actually a very good film.
Oh.
But I enjoyed it at the time.
Okay.
And that's all that matters.
So do I watch it or not?
Yeah, watch it.
Or do I watch it blindfolded?
Okay, you could do that. In the post-apocalyptic movie, Sandra Bullock's character and her children wear blindfolds to avoid seeing mysterious creatures who cause people to kill themselves. Spoiler alert. But idiots have taken to social media to take on the so-called Bird Box Challenge, risking their lives for likes by carrying out day-to-day tasks blindfolded. Did you hear a voice then?
I heard it.
I did.
Is it your stomach?
No,
is it mine?
Some are doing mundane activities such as eating dinner and combing hair.
Mm-hmm.
But others have filmed themselves falling down escalators. In extreme videos, blindfolded morons are seen driving cars, running into traffic and shooting guns. One man randomly swings an axe in a garden, smashing anything in his way. I'd like to see that video. Some are putting blindfolds on kids who are seen falling over and knocking into furniture as adults laugh off camera. In one video, a blindfold man runs through a house at speed, holding the hand of a blindfolded toddler who smashes into the wall.
Oh, no. Think of the children.
Streaming giant Netflix.
Netflix.
Last night, they've only got one film. Netflix. They've only got one film, it's very good. It's Rocky 3. Last night, begged people not to hurt themselves or end up in the hospital due to memes. Netflix tweeted, "Can't believe I have to say..."
I'm going to say cause of death, meme.
Netflix tweeted, "Can't believe I have to say this, but please do not hurt yourself with the Bird Box Challenge. Also, we've stopped getting viewers to this film. That's why we're doing these tweets. We don't know how this started, but boy and girl have just one wish for 2019, and it is that you do not end up in the hospital due to things." So someone tweeted me a link. I don't do links, but this popped up. And it is, let me see if I can find it on Huge. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I wonder if this is the one. No, it's not. Can someone tweeted me a link of Bird Box boxing?
Oh.
So it's two boxers in the ring, blindfold.
I can hear... Is it your computer?
Is that my computer? I haven't got anything open.
I heard, like, a scream and like, a cow, I think. What was that?
Let's be quiet for a second, because I haven't got anything open that would be doing that. Susan's texted, "Ian, I don't appreciate your rude attitude this evening. I think it sucks. You spelt my name wrong. It's disrespectful. Secondly, I really like your act, except when you do it to me." Can someone send me that link again? It was people Bird Box boxing, and it was two boxers in the ring trying to batter each other. But they were doing that thing you do as kids, where you kind of just put your head down.
Flail.
And you windmill your arms out like that. But it was very, very funny. Let's see if we can find that. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Stimulating nightly emissions guaranteed to open your eyes and your mind.
Oh, my word.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
So, swimming with the boys for a few hours, and then went back and then just had a lazy day because they were shattered. I was shattered because when I get up with them in the morning in the week, I get about 4 hours sleep. So I'm tired. So we kind of I just dozed on the sofa. They watched some Dennis Daly YouTube videos. Then we watched Racing Stripes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is about the racing zebra, voiced by Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We bought 3 DVDs yesterday, 2 of them starring Frankie Muniz. Without even realising.
Who's Frankie Muniz?
Frankie Muniz?
Muniz.
Frankie Muniz.
Is he Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes.
Yeah,
Frankie Muniz. Who was the Wonder Years?
Fred Savage.
What are those two boys doing now?
Fred Savage.
It's in Deadpool, Deadpool thing, which I couldn't find anywhere. I wanted to watch the Deadpool with Fred Savage.
And I think he's still an actor. Doesn't he direct as well now?
Is he still a child?
No.
I
But
met
it still
Frankie
looks like
Muniz.
one. Did
I met
you?
Frankie Muniz when he was filming Agent Cody Banks 2 on the South Banks of London.
The difficult second Cody Banks.
Manny!
Good evening.
Oh, I love the suspense.
Manny!
How are you?
Good, very good.
Did you have good holidays?
Good holidays, my mate. Yes.
Very good, very good.
Bloody good. I got a mouth ulcer, and it's just every word is agony. But that's how dedicated I am to this show and to you, dear listener.
You're like the Little Mermaid.
Very much so, but I don't get the reference.
Well, every step she took was painful, but it was worth it just to hang out with the prince. And every mouth movement you make is painful, but it's worth it just to hang out with these guys.
These guys. The Manny guys.
I'm all right, Manny.
Good. Did you have a good Christmas, good New Year?
I think so. It's a long time ago for me now. Are you still working, or are you back at work yet, or what? What's going on?
No, Monday.
Oh ho!
Are you regretting begging us to help you get a job now? Because now you've actually got to pull your finger out and do some work.
No. Better life, ain't it?
I'm glad you still think so, man. I'm glad you still think so. Good. I couldn't be more thrilled.
How are you, anyway?
I sank a little bit today, Manny.
Why?
Still a chemical thing. It's now 3 weeks I've been off these antidepressants. It was tough. Tired. I'm really tired. And that always makes things worse, you know, when you're physically tired and mentally tired.
Yeah.
And it was just tough. My youngest is struggling with me not living in the same house as him. And when I left him, I had to leave him with his grandmother tonight because his mum was going to be a little bit late home. And so I kind of had to leave him. And it was sad, man. And he was upset. He was in floods of tears, you know, and that really upset me.
Yeah, it affects the children, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And the eldest seems to be, and I say seems to be because maybe he's keeping a lot under the hood, but there seems to be okay with it at the moment. And the youngest ain't okay with it at the moment.
It's life, isn't it?
It is. Right. But you see your kids in pain, and you want to fix it. And I don't know.
Well, you have them, don't you, over the weekend and stuff, don't you?
Huh?
You have them over the weekend.
Oh, God, no, I hate them. No, I do. Not every weekend. I've got a few weekends in the diary now for January and February. Where they'll be coming to stay, but you know what it's like for. I mean, I don't think they're coming for 2 weeks, and you know what it's like for a 6-7-year-old. 2 weeks is like 25 years. It's forever to them.
It's hard for everybody. It's hard for the parents. It's hard for the children.
It's hard for everyone, and and it's a crappy thing. And all these people that say, "Oh, it's too easy to get divorced," and it's not. It's horrendous, man. It's expensive. And it's drawn out, and it's really, really painful for everybody. I would imagine, even if I didn't particularly, getting divorced was the right thing to do, but I'm not one of those people that when it came through, I was punching the air and saying, hey, let's have a party. But I would imagine even people that are quite keen to get divorced, it's a tough old thing.
Well, especially when there are children.
When children are involved, it's hard. I don't know. But I listened to the news today. People got divorced on Christmas Day. They put applications in online.
Flipping heck, really.
It's hard, isn't it? It's a shame all round. But what can you do?
What can you do?
You should take it easy on you should do it slowly, shouldn't you, on the tablets?
Well, I'm off. I think I'm off the I know I'm off the tablets now, but it's amazing. It's 3 weeks since I last had an antidepressant, but it's not as much, but it's still got physical side effects of it. My eyes, I had a terrible headache today, and it felt like that kind of headache. And I just sank emotionally. And I just thought, I'm going to take tonight off sick. And I thought, I can't do that. I'm only back a week. And I'm just, but Kath has seen me really, really up this week and really, really down. And it's
she helps you though, doesn't she?
Well,
even when you're not working together.
Yeah, no, she's my best mate, so...
How did you two meet, anyway?
Huh?
How did you two meet?
Tinder. It's on Tinder.
Yeah, I think I did.
No, I wasn't on Tinder. I was a newsreader, and he took a job at 3 Counties Radio, despite the fact that he thought it was too good to work there.
Did you work with him at WM, Kath?
No, I didn't. But I was working with him at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I asked the guy on WM once when he used to answer the phone. I said, where does Ian work in the week? Don't ask him. He said, don't ask him on air where he works, but he wouldn't tell me.
You're not allowed to say. Did he really?
Even though we were all working for the BBC.
No, you weren't allowed to. I wasn't allowed. Well, no one ever specifically said you can't mention the other place, but that was the vibe that I got.
Wow.
But that's amazing they were telling that to the listeners.
Yeah,
miserable
because
gits.
I asked the guy, and I says, how could you tell me where Ian does his shows in the week? Oh, no, don't ask him on air. He says, no, make sure you don't ask him.
I think BBC Local Radio sucks. Apart from some very talented people that we work with, and a few other talented people scattered around. I think the drones that run it, they've got not one creative bone in their body. The bosses of both those stations, not one creative bone.
The one who took your show over, he's a bit of a...
Well, I don't. That's not fair. That's not fair. Anyway, Manny, shall I cut you off?
Take care.
Here we go. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. We've talked about video games. We've talked about being a woman and getting dick pics. We've talked about mouth ulcers, divorce. Fun show, huh?
Such a fun show.
Fun show. What have you got, Catherine Boyle?
Well,
yeah.
Should we do bum pillows?
Oh, yeah. This is, yes, you mentioned this yesterday, and I never quite got to the bottom of it.
This is in the Daily Mirror. Shoppers are buying bum pillows for odd reasons. And booby pillows too. I mean, that is the weirdest headline.
But these are pillows that look like bums, or they're for your bums?
No, they look like bums. They look like a pair of tight, kind of yoga pants.
Okay, right. Yeah.
But cut off like the
cut
cycling
off at
shorts.
the torso and cut off halfway down the thigh.
Yeah, so like a pair of stuffed cycling shorts.
Okay. But what are they for?
For your head, I think. Or whatever. Getting a great night's sleep is important to everyone, and finding the right pillow for you is essential. But a new trend is emerging of body-shaped pillows to rest your head on, such as boobs and bums, and people are buying them for weird reasons. You don't say. Bum pillows are a thing because resting your head on your partner's booty is apparently a popular activity.
What if they blow off?
Exactly. God. The buttress pillow, which costs £54. I mean, that's an expensive laugh, isn't it?
Come on, guys.
Is shaped just like a bum and comes in 3 different colours, blue, black and grey. According to the product's description, it's great for all types of sleepers, as well as butt slappers, squeezers, caresses and face barriers. Interesting.
Face barriers.
The idea is that you rest your head in the sweet spot between the thighs and cheeks so it gently cradles you and supports the neck. It's designed for side sleepers, back sleepers and stomach sleepers. Sleepers. The legs are flexible and separate so you can dress up your buttress with undies. Ah, OK, perverts. The description adds. The butt pillow, launched through a Kickstarter campaign, is getting rave reviews. One pervert, wrote on the website, "Mine arrived the other day. I can honestly say it's well made. Nice firmness, a joy to cuddle, hold and squeeze and rest with. I'm a butt man and I totally recommend the buttress pillow."
Oh, gee, I'm a butt man, but I like real butts.
Yeah, not disembodied butts.
Yeah.
Like...
I want a butt. I want a nice, big, old butt. I don't want these tiny little butts. I want a big old butt. And not a fake one made it for a pillow. I want a real human, preferably a lady, but, big old butt.
It's not the only body part-shaped pillow you can get your hands on. On Amazon, you can nab yourself a super soft booby pillow, complete with nipples, and that's just $14.99. It sounds very comfortable. It's already racked up some positive reviews online. Of course it has. Let's look at what the perverts are saying. Bought for my father. He loves boobs and relaxing, so this seemed perfect, if not a little weird, one customer wrote. Yes, it is weird buying your dad anything to do with boobs, isn't it? Isn't it?
Ay.
So that's the end of that story. Aren't people weird?
I've got to take... Oh, have I got to take this call? OK. I've got to take this call straight as it goes through. Hello, Steffi.
Oh, good evening. Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, Steffi. How are you? Sorry, we're having trouble calling you back, so I have to take your call straight to air. I apologise.
Oh, no problem. No, I've got one of these stupid call blockers on my phone, and I'm trying to work out how to delete it. So.
Well, the call blockers are great, but they also block calls from legitimate places.
My phone never rings anyway, so I don't know.
Oh, poor you.
No, it doesn't. Only my mum. She calls the hotline. Everyone else phones the mobile.
I don't have a landline, but I'm feeling I ought to get one because I've got to make a couple of calls to America and stuff. I'll do it here. I'll just do it here.
No, this one's just blocking unknown numbers, so I'm going to have to get rid of it because there's an awful lot of organisations that call you from unknown numbers.
Well, you've got through to us now, Steffi. What can we do for you?
Well, I was phoning up because I tuned in a little bit earlier, and I heard you just on the back of speaking with Claire about how women are treated online.
Yeah.
And mine is hardly a unique situation because there's a lot of transgender people about. But
did you tweet me about this, Steffi?
Yeah.
Go on, good, because I forgot to read it out. But go on, tell us what's happened to you.
No, it's fine. You were having quite a bit of shit from some of the Stephen Yaxley Lennon brigade. So I don't blame you for turning Twitter off. But no, obviously I've had sort of like a social media presence for a good few years now, and I had it before I transitioned.
Yeah.
But the actual attitude and towards me has changed markedly, and it's. On Facebook, when I was masquerading as a guy, you'd get the odd friend requests and stuff, and you might get the odd private message, just saying hello and what have you. But it's remarkable now just how many sleazy people try and add you and send you dick pics.
So hang on, when you say, and by the way, I loved your turn of phrase when you were masquerading as a man. That's is a great description. I love that. But so you saying people slide straight into your DMs with a dick pic, or will you do a sex act on me kind of vibe?
Completely.
Wow. Yeah. It's so interesting hearing your perspective because who else could give us a perspective of both sides there like that? And do you think they're doing it because you're a woman, or specifically because they think you're a trans woman and therefore that's got connotations?
Well, it was different when I made the mistake a couple of years ago when I was single of actually trying some online dating, and I was quite honest on my profile about being trans, you used to get the trans chasers who there is a definite group who aim solely for transgender women, and they're like another breed entirely, really. But
in what way? Even more forward? Forward is an understatement, isn't it?
Very forward, very graphic, and yeah. But it was, when they just send you dick pics and stuff like that, I would never reciprocate before I had the surgery. But, some of them were quite deflated when I said, "Oh, nice pic, mine's bigger than yours."
Beautiful.
But how does it make you? How does it make you feel opening up your DMs and there's a dick pic?
I have no objection if I requested one, But it's just the fact that they're sent willy-nilly, as it were.
Thank you very much. Well done. Well done.
This is the thing.
Unsolicited.
Exactly, and I find it aggressive, like extremely aggressive.
It is very aggressive.
And I don't think it could be seen as anything other than that, could it? It's like a man flashing you in the street. It's not something.
Well, it's an assault, isn't it? It's an assault.
I think so. It's an invasion.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, indecent exposure, it used to be called that, at one time, people flashing at you in the park. What's the difference from sending an unsolicited dick pic?
Well, this is worse because it feels like they're doing it in a room with the door locked, they're coming into your DMs.
Yeah, very much.
But also, here's the thing, right? I'm going to ask a question that's quite vulgar.
Go on.
I'm assuming the dick is erect.
Yes.
Right, so I don't understand how that would be pleasurable for the man. Obviously, you got a boner. You got a boner. That's great. You do with that what you want. But how is so you got a boner? Then you got to get your phone. Then you got to take a picture of it, and then you got that on your phone. Right? Okay. So then I'm going to send it to you, Kath. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand if we are not in a consensual, sexual relationship where that's an acceptable part of the relationship. I don't understand where the pleasure is for me. Is it intimidation? Is it fear? Is it bullying?
I feel like it's an intimidatory move, but I would love to hear from someone who's done it as to what was going through their mind at the time.
Apart from that guy.
Yeah,
but
no, but I would love to know what they think they're doing, as opposed to what I know they're doing. You know, from my perspective.
Well, let's face it. I mean, most sex crimes are not actually based around any form of arousal.
No, power,
they're based
isn't it?
Upon power, yeah, and violence, And I think personally, sending unsolicited dick pics are sort of like a power trip for them.
I think so. I mean, do they really think you're going to go, oh, tell you what, I'll take it. Thanks very much.
I was feeling peckish and then this pops through my door. I am in.
It was like I was saying to Claire, when you're online, when we've done things online and there've been comments and stuff, I feel like it's not a real come on. It's actually an attempt to make you feel uncomfortable because they feel like they've got more power than you have, or somehow, look at this woman thinking she's brilliant all over Twitter or whatever. I'm going to show her.
But there is no.
It's basically like baboons.
Well, I'm trying to think. Is there an equivalent of it going back the other way? Yes, there will be many men that will be offended by a vagina shot. There are. I think that will be intimidated by it. I do think there are.
I think women are more likely to send pictures of their boobs and their
and there are men that would be there are men that would probably enjoy that. I think it is sex and sexuality is slightly different from men, but there would be a number of men who would be threatened and intimidated by that. But a woman sending a boob shot or a fanny shot it feels completely different in terms of power dynamic to a bloke sending a dick
shot. All right,
shot.
if we're going to go there,
so what is the equivalent the other way around? Is what I'm trying.
An
to
erect penis that you have not solicited is rape, isn't it? It is a precursor to rape. That's what it comes down to.
You saying that, I'm not disagreeing.
It's what I feel.
But you saying that sounds very, very extreme to me.
It does, but
if that's what you feel, then that's what you feel.
I think that's the nugget of the offence it causes.
And I know that you're saying that as well as someone who has been exposed.
Yeah.
When you were in France, quite a bit,
yeah.
and nearly and attacked.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing. The difference is women's bodies. Women, and I know that women can rape, right? But that is not so frequent.
No.
And you might not be killed by it.
And there is a reason, let's face it, why, say on television and films, or most mainstream films, you can see full frontal of women, boobs, and lower down and what have you, and it's not being defensive at all. But you're still not actually allowed to show an erect dick on TV, are you? Because it is quite vulgar, isn't it, really?
Well, it could be considered a thing of great beauty, but it could be. It could be. It's weird, isn't it? The genitals, the old ladies do and the man's do.
But it's all about context, right? If I'm in a relationship with someone,
I'm talking about on telly.
Yeah,
definitely the context, of course, is all.
So, but send me flowers. I don't,
in the shape of a dick. Steffi, thank you for that. I appreciate your insight.
Not at all. Take care, guys.
Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. Get that flipping coal minder thing sorted out. Right out.
So interesting, though. She's seen both sides.
Oh, it's a unique perspective, not unique, but it's a perspective that is completely different to ours. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Could do with a good film to watch tomorrow, really. I'm busy. I'm going to ride my bike to town. Bicycle, going to go for a swim, then do a little bit of shopping, then ride back. Because I got to lose some weight. I saw myself when I was at the pool today with the boys, and I saw my reflection in the mirror. Jeez, I'm not fat shaming myself, but I look disgusting. Horrible fat tits and belly and spotty, but horrible. So I've got to do something. The cats are coming out of the living room tomorrow. Not out in the garden yet, but out of the living room. That's going to be fun. I've got a few things to do. I've got to write 2,000 words on Davy Jones tomorrow. But
Just 2,000.
Just 2,000. Just 2,000. And Davy Jones in Japan in the 80s. Look at the Frank Sidebottom album I'm going to release. And go to a meeting tomorrow night, because I've not been to a meeting for a week. And, yeah. And then I want to watch a film. That's what I want to do. Good evening, Gavin.
Evening, Ian. Kath, how you doing?
All right.
Good. I was just ringing in. I just turned the radio on. I've just I only just got my 8-year-old to bed, can you believe?
Hey, mate!
I know.
Playing the game tonight. Well done, your 8-year-old.
Yeah, I know. He is playing the game, but he's asleep. Managed to get the dog in the bed with him, and that seems to have done the job, having a cuddle, so good. I only rang in because I heard the lady calling in about chatting about dick pics.
Yeah.
And as I just rang in, and I thought, oh my God, it reminded me that my partner this year, she started doing drawings.
Yeah.
She didn't realise that she could do it. She's very good at it.
Oh.
Thoroughly enjoying it.
She didn't realise she could draw, and then what? She was just doodling one day, and you went, hey, that and half good, that.
Literally, just one day, she did like a couple of pictures for the kids' birthday parties as they're growing up.
Yeah.
You know, like doing a thing from Frozen or whatever.
Yeah.
And then someone just said to her, do you reckon you could draw this for me? And she did this drawing, and it was really good.
Now, was she drawing or was she tracing?
Drawing, absolutely drawing. From a picture.
Funny. Imagine not knowing you could do that. That's incredible.
Yeah, so, but her late dad was an artist, so maybe it's just in the family and she never knew. So,
there you go.
I find that fascinating.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But that wasn't why I was ringing. It was because she set up an Instagram page to kind of, show people that she could do these drawings. And within about 2 days, she got a WhatsApp from a guy with a full frontal naked dude. Just sent it to her randomly. Hi, how you doing?
Did it have his face on, or was it just torso and downwards?
Yeah, the whole lot.
God, so he really didn't care.
No, he was from America, I think. Judging by looking at it.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. How could you tell he was American?
He was wearing a cowboy hat.
She said, I didn't even get to see it. She just said, I think from the number, because it was a...
Oh, from the number. Okay, there wasn't...
The number.
Right, yeah.
But, it didn't have like a cowboy hat and Spurs. But I just thought it was really weird. And I said to her, how has that come about? And it was where she hadn't learned how to remove her number from Instagram.
Right, yeah.
So obviously there must be people just looking for that kind of, I guess, the access to do that.
But I noticed pretty early on from when I went on Twitter that there are collectors of women. Sometimes I get added to, and I'll check who's added me.
Like a Catherine
all
list.
Catherines.
Yeah.
Or it was the most bizarre thing. And I wonder whether they kind of work their way through.
It's just really weird, though. I just said to her, when she told me, I was like, well, I don't know what would make you want to do that. It's not a particularly nice thing to look at anyway. Like you also spoke about the opposite of a woman sending one. I don't think that would be particularly nice either.
No, because the whole point is that when you when you see your partner's privates, there's feelings there and there's something going on. It's not just, a disembodied pudenda.
Look at you speaking Latin. That's very...
Well, it's better than Fanny, isn't it?
Well, it is better.
Yeah, in fairness, Fanny would have probably been better for my vocabulary.
You know what I mean? No one goes, oh, I bet she's got a lovely one. No one thinks of it like that, do they? Or do they? Maybe some do.
Hang on, let me think. What is it?
Thinking maybe if you've seen a couple of awful ones, don't know.
I mean, you would look at a woman and wonder if think and say that's a nice arse.
Mm.
I mean, being completely blunt, that happens. But no, do you look at a woman and go, oh, I wonder if she's got a nice vagina? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Having said that, probably the next guy or girl that calls in might say, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because people are weird, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the nature of it.
But yeah, just the sheer effrontery of the thing, of sending a complete stranger a full frontal body shot. What's she going to say?
Well, I don't know. That's what I said to her. I don't think we're having breakfast.
I don't think the reaction is the thing. I think that it's the sending, the thing of, I'm going to shock her. I think that's what it is.
The excitement of doing it rather than, like, because that's the thing. What would you be hoping for? That, like you said earlier, you're hoping they go, that looks great. Can I come and see that, please?
Exactly. Because when will that happen? I mean, it probably does happen, but it's got to be rare. I think it is like flashing.
In the right, maybe, whatever, I don't know what to call them, the right kind of...
platforms.
How did your missus... how did she feel? That's the question. How did she feel?
She actually felt a bit violated. And I think part of that was because she didn't know how it had come about.
Yeah.
Until we kind of backtracked and went, oh, look, you've done this on Instagram and your number's on there. We've got to get that deleted now to stop that happening. But just I think more shock and just a bit kind of like, why would someone want to do that?
Yeah. Isn't it weird?
And I think she felt, in fairness, she felt a little bit sorry for the person, a bit like, well, you know, obviously they need help or they need something or they get their kicks that way, which is a bit sad.
Yeah.
People, sorry, I just froze for a second there because I was just thinking about something my little boy said to me earlier today, and it just hit me. Sorry, I just froze.
That's all right.
That's all right. That's all right.
But yeah, people are strange, and I get the feeling of it's a violation, isn't it? When you're not expecting it to see that.
Did he want a picture? Did he want her to draw his penis? Is that what he was? He was angling for.
Maybe I'll
angling.
Unblock him on WhatsApp and say,
yeah.
Did you want to? Do you want to draw in? How much for the drawing? Yeah, so you could commission him one.
Imagine a really detailed pencil drawing of a dick. Wow,
someone would love that.
Oh, wouldn't that be horrific?
Yeah.
I don't know if to All right, Gavin, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, well, lovely discovering you can draw.
Yeah.
After not really considering it. I wish I could draw.
When did you try?
Huh?
Have you tried?
Oh, I try all the time.
Have you?
Yeah, I can't draw.
But seriously? Like with a proper pad and
seriously,
half an apple that you've cut and you try and do that?
I'll draw you.
No, properly. This isn't serious. You're
What do
going to
you
draw
mean
me
this
with
isn't? No, I'm not. I'm going to draw you to the best of my ability. Well, you know, you're pulling a face. I'm going to draw you to the best of my ability, and you'll look at it and go, oh, no, you're taking the mick. And I go, no, that's the best. And that inside, I will die. Because that's the best drawing I could possibly do. So I'm not going to do it. Because it will just be painful for me.
Oh. Painful drawing.
By Iain Lee. Good evening, Noah.
Hello, how are you guys?
I've got a mouth ulcer now, and it's really getting on my nerves.
He hardly mentions it, though.
I'm just being very brave. We'll get Pride of Britain. Get Pride of Britain on the phone. How are you doing, Noah?
Oh, I'm just laughing because, quite by coincidence, I have had 3 dick pics and an offer of €200 to meet someone tonight, just using online dating.
What? Hang on a minute. You've had all that tonight?
Yeah.
Flipping heck.
Yeah, this is before I started listening to you guys. I've had a 26-year-old, a 25-year-old, and a 42-year-old sending me dick pics.
So that's all the ages covered.
Was there any conversation before, or was that the entree?
Yeah, that's the funny...
No, Noah! Yellow card. One more and you're out.
Sorry.
You will be.
Yeah, so... I don't know. It's really strange. It feels like it's kind of their last gasp attempt at trying to lure you in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
By the way,
definitely power thing.
So before I go, you may want to see this.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Maybe this will change your mind.
Right, I'm going to ask a question that might sound disrespectful, okay? And I would ask this to whoever I was speaking to about this now, right?
Yeah.
You get these dick pics. Is there any point where you go, well, maybe? Do you know what I mean? That sounds slightly disrespectful, and I don't mean it to. But is there any little bell in the back of your head going, well, maybe?
No, I'm going to allude to yesterday's conversation about asexuality because I fall in that same spectrum of asexuality, so it's like pretty much no. I am, as Giselle described to you yesterday, would be romantically attracted to people, but not very much sexually, especially, something that maybe would develop later, but definitely not at the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah.
Definitely not on these kind of apps. So, it's just kind of...
But then what do you do when... OK, so what did you do with these three men? Did you block them? Did you reply to them telling them to F off? What did you say?
Well, there's actually... I just block because it's kind of... I live in a kind of small town, and it's kind of... It's not really safe for me to provoke. So I just block. But there is a movement. It's coming out of America where women are taking screenshots and basically they are saying to them, guys, right, if you don't pay up for sending me this, I'm going to expose you on social media. For money. So that's what they're...
Well, now we're entering a whole. Can you? I don't know. I don't know if I agree with.
I don't know the legality of that.
Well, it's illegal because it's blackmail, and I don't know. Again, I'm a bloke, so it's different. And I don't know how I feel about the ethics of that. But is there? What's slightly different if you remove the blackmail, the financial element? If Catherine, if I sent you an unsolicited dick pic. Is there an ethical problem with you then taking that screen grab and putting it on social media
and just shaming you? No,
there isn't an ethical problem with it, is there?
Because it's not my secret to keep.
No, exactly. This is what I'm thinking. The blackmail thing, I think, is messy and is unpleasant and stuff. But just putting it out there, saying, "I just got sent this from Iain today," I think it's inappropriate. But that is. I'd
fine. Love to see some paper headlines on that one.
Well, I know exactly. If you take my huge celebrity out of the equation, and I'm Joe Schmo from Kokomo. If I'm just
to be honest, when I've had the dick pic thing aside, in fact, no, I did that, didn't I? I just retweeted it and said, "Look what I've got here." When it happened, do you remember?
I don't remember that.
And I got sent one. I got sent one. It was a couple of years ago. Someone sent me one, and I retweeted it and put the comment of, state of this, because why should I have to deal with it? Why should I have to absorb that? And they'll delete straight away. But screenshot is very powerful. It's a shitty thing to do to someone. So I've got very limited. I've got very limited sympathy for someone if they get shamed like that. To be honest.
All right. No. Hey, listen. Thank you. I'm sorry you went through that tonight. That's that's lousy, and you shouldn't. No one should. No one should go through that kind of stuff. So you deserve better.
Nice.
Thank you, Noah. Cheers.
Thanks, Noah.
So Susan's texted. That can't be the real Susan. That's got to be a different Susan. Let me just check the... No, it's Susan. OK, so Susan's been saying, I was going to discuss vitamins with you, but as you're being so obnoxious to me, I'm not going to bother. To hell with it, Susan. No kisses. I don't like your attitude. Iain, I don't appreciate your rude attitude this evening. I think it sucks. Then there's this. That is it, Iain. You're behaving like a complete pig. Hope you are Muslim.
What?
You would feel insulted, but I happen to like people of the Muslim faith. They are nice people, unlike you. Good night to you. Susan, by the way, I also like Hindus and Sikhs. They are nice people. And I'm...
Good night, Susan.
Put the bottle down, Susan. Put the bottle down. Another hour of this, dear listener. 03444991000. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain and Kath on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
All my little plans and schemes lost like some forgotten dreams. Seems that all I really was doing was waiting for you. Just like little girls and boys playing with their little toys. Seems like all they really were doing was waiting for a love. Don't need to be this moment, and I know exactly where my life will go. Seems that all I really was doing was waiting for love. Don't need to be afraid. No need to be afraid. It's real love. Yes, it's real love. Oh, it's real love. Yes, it's real love. Thought I'd been in love before, but in my heart I wanted more. Seems like all I really was doing was waiting for you. Don't need to be alone. No need to be alone. It's real love. Yes, it's real love. Oh, 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 it's real love. Yes, it's real love.
03444991000 is the phone number. Regina, I think we're going for, Spectre.
Regina?
I think it's pronounced Regina.
Oh, no.
No, I think it is. Oh, don't be so childish, Catherine
Come on.
Boyle. I think... how do you pronounce Regina Spector? I think... There we go. Oh, she's going... Okay.
I mean, I bloody would go for Regina, wouldn't you?
Okay, Regina. Okay. Well, I apologise then.
Call me Regina.
I apologise. Dear listener, another 55 minutes to go. Flagging a bit tonight. It's been a first week back.
Been a long week.
It's not. It's been normal length week. It's not been long, but first week back is always a little shock to the system.
Well,
and
I'm back on the school run as well.
Yes.
And that is a kit
yes.
for a night worker.
Yes, I was just I froze a little bit when we were talking to Gavin because it's been a tough old day with the boys today, and when I left my youngest, it was he likes wrestling with me. He wants physical contact. He likes wrestling, and I said when we go swimming, we could wrestle in the swimming pool, and we played a game that was wrestling, but I mistakenly didn't call it wrestling. I called it something else.
Oh.
So when we left. Tears. We didn't wrestle in the swimming pool. I said, "Oh, yes, we did. That game we played. That wasn't wrestling. That was this game." And I said, "Okay, my fault." So I considered it wrestling, and I should have called it that. And instead, I called it something different. I'm really, really. So it was a silly mistake of mine to make. And then just this afternoon, I was so wiped out. It was difficult to kind of be as present as I would like to have been. But I was present for bits of it, and we had a nice afternoon. But it was lazy, and they were really tired as well. And then my boy's mum was going to be late back, and I had to come in early because I was talking to Claire. And so I took them to their grandmother's just for an hour or so. And, oh, God, it was heartbreaking, Catherine. When we left, he was in tears. He wouldn't let go of me. And he was really upset. And then when I came into work, he video phoned me and said, "Why can't I see you this weekend?" Oh, jeez. And you can't really say, because... It's not how it works when you're divorced. You know, your mum is entitled to have some time with you when I'm not there. But you know, and she's not working, and she gets to, you know, that's her time with you, and that's I can't really.
Can't you say that?
No, I feel uncomfortable saying. I would feel uncomfortable saying that. I would feel uncomfortable saying it's your mum's turn.
Well,
phrased in well, no, exactly. I'm using it as a shorthand, obviously.
Yeah.
Phrased in a better way. I would feel uncomfortable. I would feel uncomfortable saying
Yeah.
that. So I can't say it at the moment. Is the thing. But
It's all so new.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible. And also, with Christmas, everything was kind of unreal and it was all slightly different and stuff.
Yeah,
But
there were no rules.
Jesus, man, I swear to God, getting divorced is flipping horrible, man. And not living with your kids. I mean, there are other issues of being the one that lives with the kids. I get that. I get that is a different thing, fraught with problems and all kinds of difficulties. And I probably couldn't. Well, no, I could manage like that, but it would be difficult and challenging in lots of different ways. But not sleeping under the same roof as your kids, man. It sucks a fat one. And today was tough. Today was tough.
But you're in a position where you're both civil to each other, and you'll be able to sort something out.
I want some conspiracy theorists to call in.
Why?
I want Howard Hughes' mob to call in, because for years there's been this big conspiracy theory, right? There's been let's get some conspiracy theory music on the go here.
What are you beefing on about?
That's not it. So for years there's been this theory, right, that on the dark side of the moon, there's no such thing as dark side of the moon. You know what we mean?
The Far Side.
Which is a great cartoon by Gary
Larson.
Larson.
It so good.
So on the dark side of the moon, this theory has been that there are factories there. That there are factories there and buildings and really tall structures and stuff. Now, I don't know where this theory comes from. It comes from nut jobs and stoners and losers and probably flat earthists. But that there are buildings and stuff there, and for years people say, no one goes round there because then we'd all know. Well, the old Chinese have sent a rocket there. I don't know why no one sent a rocket there before, actually. But so the Chinese have sent a rocket to
the Americans, in true American fashion, went, moon, done.
Done, yeah.
Like when they come to Paris and London, then go, that's Europe.
Oh, yeah.
Sorted.
But so the Chinese have sent a rocket there, and it's landed there, and oh, what a surprise! There's no factories. There's nothing there.
There's not a lot, apparently. I was listening to James Whale as I was driving in, standing in for Dan Wootton, who's standing in for Eamon.
Well, Dan Wootton is stuck in purgatory for spying on celebrities.
Oh, I thought he was in Thailand.
Oh, maybe one of those two.
But yeah, apparently, the craggy face of the moon that's interesting that we look at, that's got a face and that, the man in the moon.
Yeah.
That's the interesting side. The other side, a bit boring, apparently. A bit flat.
What do you mean the man in the moon? That's not a face in the moon.
The man in the moon, that whole thing, comes from the fact that the moon looks like a face.
Shut up. No, it does not.
It's true.
No, it does not.
What are you talking about? You've never seen the moon's face?
Of course I haven't, because it doesn't have a face. I've seen the moon, the white circle, the disc.
I see the face all the time.
Well, you're nuts. Have you seen... There's no face in the moon.
There's a face.
No, there's not.
Of course there's a face.
Google me a picture of the moon, but
All
don't type in face. I find it so hard to talk with a mouth ulcer. Have you looked out the window, Sam? Can you see the moon? Okay, right, fine. There's no face in the moon. At all.
Looks like a face.
No, it doesn't. Oh, they've drawn on that.
They haven't.
Hang on, let me turn your computer. Now, let me look at it. They've drawn on that, you knobber.
No, they haven't.
And in that one on the left, it looks like he's got a winkle.
The man in the moon.
Mate, they've totally drawn on that.
Some of them have drawn on, yeah, but that's the face.
Yeah, they've drawn on.
It's got a face. It's got a face.
Oh, here we go, look. The solar system could be flung apart by a galaxy that is hurtling towards the Milky Way, but the collision with the large Magellanic Cloud will not happen for 2 billion years.
Yeah,
well, why did you put it in the paper?
Because they make you go, oh, it's okay. What? They like doing that.
Hey, here's the thing, right? So, I'm treading very carefully around the legalities of this, but there was a New Year's Eve party or a party, and unfortunately, a member of the security staff was murdered.
Yeah.
Right? That to one side. It was a horrible, horrible event. Right? Horrible. Bloke died. Bloke who'd come from Romania, I think he was, for a better life, got killed. Horrible, horrible, horrible. That should be the end of the story, right?
Yes, of course it should.
Why do I know why have I been told what kind of party it was?
I know.
What? Sorry, why? It's a sex party. It's like a posh sex party, not a cheapo, nasty. It's a posh, private, very, very expensive sex party, right? Why do I know that? The implication being, this guy deserved it, or this is the kind of crowd that this attracts, or the implication seems to be.
Well, they were trying to crash the party, weren't they?
Yeah,
that was the first.
But there's no excuse for a murder.
No, absolutely not.
The implication is that somehow. Well, it was a sex party, so of course that was going to happen. Why do I know that?
I don't think there's even that implication. I think it's just by the way, guys, it was a sex party. And
No,
not just any old sex party, one with sexy, young, posh people.
The front page of The Sun yesterday was... It was more than that.
Oh, right.
The front page of The Sun yesterday was guided to security man stabbed at the door of sex orgy. It was definitely weighted to you should think less of this man's loss of life because he was working for perverts. That was I'm extrapolating slightly, but that's the thing. Here's the thing: if people go to sex parties, so what? If people go to sex parties that cost £25 a head, or that cost 25 grand a head, so what? If everyone's there willingly, if everyone's there having a great time, so what? Who cares? Who cares what goes on? I got this impression of jealousy.
Well,
it's a bit of jealousy.
But that's the sort of stuff that happens in the papers, isn't it? It's going, oh, isn't this disgusting? Yeah. Let's find out more.
Yeah.
Look at these perverts. Here's some pictures.
I would rather go to a cheap sex party than a £5 a night. I don't know how much this one costs. Than an expensive sex. If I had to go to a sex party, it would be a cheap one.
I don't know what scenario that would be where you had to go to a sex party.
Because
say no would be rude.
To save someone's life.
By
doing it with them.
Okay.
In front of others. If that scenario, right, just a scenario. just a thing. If we've gone from 20 minutes ago doing a very sensitive...
I don't think that's a means of resuscitation.
Very sensitive phone-in about women being abused by, getting sent dick pics, and now we're saving someone's life by having sex in front of people.
Yeah, but they've gone there to see penises.
Anyway, I think I would go there. I'm running out of steam. Are you running out of steam? I've run out of steam. I feel as flat as a pancake, as F as a P.
F as a P.
I feel really flat. But I have no right to feel flat because we've got 45 minutes to do, and somehow I've got to pull I've got to deliver some chat, and I don't know, seriously, I don't think I can do it. I've not got anything in the tank.
Should we wait for them to phone up?
I don't know, we did that trick in the week.
Yeah, it worked.
No, I don't know, I feel a bit flat. Have you got any stories?
I've got, it's a nasty one. Or a time-travelling bullshine one.
We'll have that after this.
Take a trip into the alternate reality of late-night radio.
I think I'm in something like The Matrix, and so are you.
The Late-Night Alternative.
Hello.
With Iain Lee.
Is there anybody out there?
On Talk Radio.
Hello.
03444991000 is the phone number. I'm going to do my best the last 40 minutes, but who knows? It just... Oh, God. Let's... Now, which one's Keith? Is he the one that...
Well, there are a couple.
Okay.
There's one that's a spoiler.
Yeah. He's the one that hates me, is he?
It never ends well. It's not always offence is taken.
Let's wait for Keith, then we'll do Chat Is Fate. Let's see which Keith it is. Good Keith, bad Keith. You never know.
Could be Ribs Keith.
No, it's not Ribs Keith. I think it's bad Keith. Let's see. Are you good Keith or bad Keith?
Hello?
Are you good Keith or bad Keith?
I think I'm...
It's bad Keith. It's bad Keith. Okay. What do you want?
Who's bad Keith?
What do you want, boy?
I was just trying to give you a bit of support, really. I think a couple of nights ago you'd said you'd been out on your bike, and for like 45. You said 45 minutes, and you found it a bit tiring.
Yes.
And just trying to give you a bit of support, really, just as you're trying to build your fitness. Can I say, like, I've sort of like run and done, sort of involved running in my life, in most of my adult life. But the way to sort of do it is let's put it the other way around. My daughter, I helped to sort of start running when she was 8 or 9, and the way forward is to sort of like do a mile to begin with, but stop worrying about the time. Sort of shuffle along and sort of get a mile under your belt, which might not sound a lot, and then give it 2-3 days.
I've just done 5 miles.
On
your bike, I'm talking about jogging.
I'm not jogging.
Sorry?
I'm not jogging.
No, I know. But
why are you telling me how to jog?
Because you were asking a few weeks ago.
Not about jogging, I wasn't.
Oh, well, I thought you were.
No, I wasn't.
So, right. Okay, well...
I hate running. I hate runners.
Do you? What's that? Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
I just hate runners.
Yeah. So, well, it's no help to you at all, then, is it? Really?
No, I'm not into running. You might as well. You might say, I heard you're cycling. Well, my daughter's learning Chinese, and here are the tips. Basically, you learn a word a day.
I got to, if you're cycling,
Here we go.
I switched to a drop handlebar, a light, a lighter.
I've got a BMX.
Yeah, they're a bit sort of like the drag.
I can do great wheelies on it.
Doesn't help. Well, you can be sarcastic. I'm just trying to give you a bit of encouragement, really.
Okay, well, it's appreciated, man. It's not sarcastic. It's just a little bit of light, gentle humour.
Yeah, I know.
12:20 on a Friday night.
You'll find a drop handlebar. I've not rode one since my teens, but you'll find a vast difference in the way it's sort of dexterity and movement. And you change gears with the brakes which is odd. And I was a total novice.
But I'm riding. You can't ride. But see, my image of a drop handlebar is like a racing bike, and I'm going through the woods and stuff.
Yeah, I know you are, because you're on a mountain bike. A drop handlebar bike, for your road, you change gears. You change gears. With the brakes, you click the brake in.
I don't want to go like. Here's the thing. I don't want to be a lycra clad.
No, I'm not that at all.
Going fast. I don't want to go fast on the roads because it scares me.
No. Well, I sort of choose all left turns, sort of it's quite rural where I am, but it's a different feeling to it. And to change gears, you change up with your thumb on the inside of the...
Click the brake, isn't it?
It's the brake that you click in, and it's a totally different feel. Just under odd £100, you can get a really decent drop handlebar. It's nice to have both.
No, I don't want both. I don't want 2 bikes. One bike is plenty.
Yeah, good to put the washing on.
Sorry?
No, occasionally. I've got me and my daughter. We've both got bicycles, and if we don't want to put the radiators on, we put the washing on it.
All right.
But try, yeah, you'll enjoy a road bike.
No, I don't want to go on the road.
You don't want to go on the road?
No, I'm a bit scared. Honestly, Keith, I'm a bit scared of going on the road.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. You got to be well lit up.
Yes.
So
I don't smoke anymore, so there's a joke for the stoners. All right.
Well, the best of luck. I just was trying to help. And if you do decide to run,
no, I'm not.
You're not a runner. You don't feel that's for you.
No, I hate it. And I've tried running, and I hate it, and it just makes me. I don't like it. I get nothing out of it.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit, does it?
No. All right. Nice one, Keith. Thank you, mate.
Cheerio.
Tutty bye. Chat is fate.
Yeah.
Chat is fate. Chat is fate.
Do you want a spooky one, or do you want a time travel one?
I want spooky, actually.
Right, let's go spooky.
Yeah, I want spooky.
Dark Waters. You got Dark Waters music?
I have, actually, yeah. Hang on a second. Where's my Dark Waters music section? It's here. Here we go.
The sides of the canal barge thumped against the tunnel wall in complete darkness as icy cold water dripped down my cheeks. I was travelling along a canal that was taking me right into the black depths of one of Britain's most haunted hills, the place where me and the Soul Reaper paranormal spirits investigator team were going to speak to the dead.
Soul Reaper.
Terrified already, I hoped that they weren't going to answer back. At 5 kilometres along the Standedge Canal Tunnel in Marsden, West Yorkshire, is the UK's longest canal tunnel. It was built in 1811 so that wool could be transported cheaply between Leeds and Manchester. Just as cheap were the lives of the poor souls who dug the tunnel using pickaxes and dynamite to cut through the granite-like stone.
Ooh.
Considered disposable by their cruel masters, many were crushed, drowned or blown up digging their perilous way into the hillside. In the 17 years it took to build the tunnel, at least 53 men were killed, with many more dying from their injuries outside the tunnel. In green writing, vengeful. It's no wonder their spirits are said to be angry and vengeful, and it's not just their lost souls that have been spotted inside the tunnel. Devil worshippers have been seen on ledges inside, carving terrible drawings on the walls, and even sacrificing sheep to the Dark Lord.
Wow!
One night, a man taking a shortcut home through the tunnel was stunned to see a masked figure racing towards him in the dark. The figure scratched his face before running off. Scratch. The Soul Reaper Paranormal Team are a group of around 10 individuals led by Kyle Thompson. With the latest in ghost hunting equipment, light detecting, radio wave and spirit monitoring devices, I was honoured to be one of the first members of the public invited along to one of their spiritual investigations. Kyle told me that he'd recently seen the apparition of a child at Wentworth Woodhouse, a 17th century building near Rotherham. "We were filming in a corridor," he explained, "and when we watched the film back, the shimmering outline of a child could clearly be seen moving towards us and then suddenly disappearing." As he told me this, the wind whipped through the tunnel, screaming through the gaps around the boat. I couldn't help but shiver. I could almost be listening to the terrible cries of the desperate injured navvies as they breathed their last breath. Green writing, murder. Many bleak occurrences have happened here, not least the gruesome murder of 2 gamekeepers who were butchered in the moor in 1913. The murderer's identity is unknown to this very day.
That was years ago.
Ages. In 1971, the body of a 15-year-old girl was found face down in the water inside the tunnel with her throat cut, Kyle told me. Again, nobody was ever caught for the crime. I wasn't, I was being Yorkshire.
With her throat cut.
Throat cut. I was being Yorkshire.
Well, it didn't sound Yorkshire.
Again, nobody was ever caught for the crime.
No, of course not.
In the dark, the hairs on my neck began to prickle. I could feel something staring at me.
Uh-oh.
But before we scoped out the tunnel, we examined the older buildings around the entrance. Here, too, locals have heard strange noises at night and seen the shape of a figure moving around, even though no one calls this place home. So...
Here's the thing, ghosts don't exist. There's nonsense. I'd love to believe it, and sometimes I flirt with the idea that maybe, but they don't exist. Call me now if you have any evidence of ghosts. Here's the thing, there are cameras everywhere, right? Cameras absolutely everywhere. So, all right, there should be hours of ghost footage. There's nothing. You know, that orb stuff is nonsense. So I've got a camera in my living room so I can watch my cats, right? I'm an idiot, and that's kind of how I get my kicks. And you watch it, and there are orbs. You see orbs. There's orbs.
It's dust, isn't it?
Floating around. It's just orbs floating around. Yeah, it's dust. It's dust catching. That's all it is. Oh, but they move in... It's dust. They move in unpredictable ways. It's dust. A little breeze, and dust moves in a different direction. That's all it is. I hate to say this to you guys. Ghosts do not exist. Call me if you... think I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. Close that. Close that. Close that. Close the computer. Close everything. Let's close everything, right? We've got 30 minutes to show before Killer Kilner comes in. The vibe is gone. The vibe is gone, and that's my fault. I'm cool with that. I can take that responsibility. I've got a mouth ulcer. It's painful to speak. I'm feeling bunged up, and I'm tired. You know, I'm a human being. I'm not Lionel Bart. I'm not an entertainment machine. I'm a human being with feelings. So for the last 30 minutes. We're going to take it nice and easy. We're not going to say anything because there's nothing to say. There's no point in faking it to make it. If you want to call in, you'd be very welcome to call in. If you don't want to call in, then we're going to use the last 30 minutes just to kind of chill out a little bit and relax and kind of get set for the weekend and maybe contemplate the things that have happened this week and where some things maybe went wrong and some things went better than we thought, what we could do differently. And maybe got something nice coming up this weekend. We just use the last 30 minutes for a little bit of quiet time, a little bit of thinking time. If you want to call in, you'd be very welcome. We will take calls straight to air, but you're under no pressure. But there's the stories I've got, rubbish. So what's the point of doing them? You've got nothing and don't do anything. Fine. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
We could be dreaming and meeting each other in our dreams.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Let's just take it easy. I have nothing to give for the last... There'll be some people listening going, well, come on, man. You're being paid for this. But put on a show. Mark Shaw. As the German promoters once shouted at the Beatles. But, you know, sometimes the vibe ain't there. If you want to call in, you'd be very welcome to. We'll take calls straight to air. We've had some serious stuff. We've had some light stuff. If you just want to check in, say how you're feeling, you'd be very welcome to. If you want to fun up and do something silly, you'd be very, very welcome to. And if you don't want to call in, do you know what? That's fine. We've got 28 minutes of this left, probably 26 minutes once you take into consideration the adverts and stuff. So let's just chill out. 0344 499 1000. We just sit here and we wait. Oh, I had an idea for a show next week.
Yeah, go on.
I was talking to Claire.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about the bird box, the blindfold thing with her. We should do an hour of the show blindfolded.
What for?
Sorry?
Why?
What do you mean?
Well, we're sitting down.
Yeah, but it'd create a different vibe. I won't be able to see you. A lot of our communication is visual amongst ourselves. So we wouldn't be able to see each other.
Okay.
And also, I won't be able to control the phone line as well.
That would be so weird.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
all right. Let's do it.
Monday, first hour. We haven't got a guest Monday, have we?
No, I was hoping that the paranormal porn stars might make an appearance, but they've gone a bit quiet. But he did say that it might take him a while to get the rest of the crew together.
Well, they're all shagging.
Busy.
They're making movies. Why are all porn actors called porn stars?
Well, it makes them feel special.
Okay.
So much of it's about confidence.
It is. Line 1, yes, hello?
Oh, hello there, Ian. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I used to call you many years back and do various impressions of pop singers, but I've been quite disillusioned with the Brexit argument, so I've tuned back into your show, and I was listening to you when I was out in Morocco on the wireless, and you do a great service to us. I remember one line you gave a few years ago about being a refuge for battered, bruised and bewildered.
Oh.
You know, that's
I do remember that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, my problem is that I used to call you up on LBC, and this is obviously one of my voices and names, but you confused me many years ago with one of the nasty callers, and I'm one of the good guys.
Well, then in that case, I apologise profusely. Sometimes I get that I call it out and I get it wrong.
You mustn't, because I've been following your career for years, and I was on YouTube today and I saw you, Iain Lee, on YouTube, not being silly. Ian wanted to go to Pakistan with a famous boxer named Amir Khan, and there were 1 million views. I didn't know what to do, I wanted to be a stand-up comic too, but I'm just not that funny, boo, and so forth. And I thought 1 million views, that's quite something, you know. You've carved out a niche, you've got a following, you've made quite a bit of money. I saw an article on The Independent, I think, from 2006 about your flat. You remember that? Come inside my flat?
I do remember that. I remember them coming in and taking pictures, and I was wearing a cardigan, but I don't remember what I said in any part of the interview.
It had pictures of your television. It had pictures of your record collection,
It's a good
DVD
television.
collection. Yes, you talked about Mackenzie Crook.
Yeah.
And
He
all this.
lives.
I mean,
He still lives a 3-minute walk from that flat
in Muswell Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I know. I just looked at it and I thought Ian's done very. You're an inspiration for many of us that sort of struggle on a daily, weekly basis. I listened to you in Morocco talking to Chris, and I'd come back, and there's a lot of poverty in Morocco. As you saw, you went to Marrakesh.
I went to Marrakesh. Yeah, I wasn't very impressed with it. I was disappointed. But yeah, it's a very poor place.
But you were mainly in the square and mosque area, right? If you go, because that's where you bought the sellotape. I think the big square. Yeah,
the big sellotape.
If you go about half an hour north, there's a place called Gulis, which is sort of the rich part. And it's very affluent there, big shopping malls and so forth. But no, I was there, and someone just sent me the link, and it was a very powerful call, and I was there amongst the beggars and and the hustlers and the whores, and I listened to that, and you feel very alive when you're in that. So it's very different to the UK, very brutal, very. You feel very at one with nature, and it's an aggressive city. 2 taxi drivers punched each other in the face over me, over my fare, And then I came back and I listened to you, and I thought, here's that Iain Lee who I used to listen to on LBC. I listened to a few calls today, and I thought, what a journey we're all on. And you know what? I might not make it till the end of this decade or this year. Who knows?
Wow.
One must live in the present, and it's a journey, isn't it? And you're still here.
Well, talking of living in the present, are we allowed to dip in the past slightly? I can't remember what pop stars you did impressions of. I remember you singing.
Yes. I used to do a brilliant Michael Jackson impression.
You did? Could we hear it? Can you still do it?
I mean, as long as there are no copyright, that's what used to block me on LBC, because they say, you can't do more than 5 seconds of a...
Well, that was a lie. Whoever told you that was lying to you.
Used to have a Welsh chap, Chrissy.
Agent Chris, yeah, Adrian Crisp.
Agent Chrissy, yes. I used to... The Billie Jean is not my love. It's just a man who thinks I am the one. The king is not my son. So no, I'm not guilty. I just love the children. That one.
I remember it very, very well. That was lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice one, John. But are you all right? How's life going?
Just moved into a new house. Got a job. I've had several breakdowns over the past few years, but I've got a job now. I've got a house that
well done.
unfurnished, that I'm furnishing. Still working through all our issues. Obsessive compulsive disorder is still the sort of monster on my back, as it were. But I've been writing for The Guardian. Wrote some stuff in The Independent, various things. I almost had a couple of TV programs made. One about your good mate that you're tweeting about.
The wife beat, Yaxley Lennon.
Yaxley Lennon. I was going through. I'd done, talking to some producers, and then one producer looked at the sort of proposed idea, and she just went, "No, boring." And I went, "Just have a bit more of it." She went, "No one will be interested. Boring." But then, then we move on to other pastures. But no, it's life is going. I mean, today's one of the better days.
Good.
But it's up and down, but it's my stress is now manifesting into throbbing eyes and noses, which is a new one.
Yeah.
But it stresses. Some of my early 20s, I thought I can't hold down a job because of my anxiety. But now I've realised, no, you have to hold down a job. You have to hold down a job. You have to have a home. Still not driving yet. I haven't driven for a good few years, but. 2019. We've made it to another.
We made it this far, brother.
Yeah, made it back from Marrakesh in one piece.
Well done. Hey, man, it's nice to hear from you, John. You're welcome to dip in and out whenever you want, and you'd always find a spot on this show, brother.
Great, thank you very much, Ian, and make the trip back to Morocco and go to Agadir.
I didn't know. I was so close to a posh place. Now you tell me a year later. Thank you, John.
Okay.
Cheers, bye-bye. Oh, that was nice. No, I've spoken to John for years. I do remember him, yeah. The chilled last 20 minutes of the show, his vibe is almost non-existent. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock, hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
Last 15 minutes or so of the week for this show. You've got Martin Kellner on at 1 o'clock. Podcasts are plenty. Oh, by the way, We've sold a third of the tickets for the Bros screening already. It's on tickettext.co.uk. If you type in Bros and Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle, it'll pop up, I think. I don't know, but I'll tweet the link again. And if you bought tickets for Weird Science, you should have had an email from me with a cheeky little code to get a couple of quid off tickets for Bros. So that's cool. And also I've sent out a load of Imani CDs that people bought off me, and I've got to send, I think, 5 more that I'll send tomorrow if I get up in time for the post office. So they're out there, man. Let's go to line 1. Good evening, line 1. The music?
I don't know.
That was brilliant. Thank you for that. Must buy a pint of milk on the way home, and it just popped into my head. Thank you for that. I enjoyed that. 0344 499 1000. It's not a full-on straight-to-air Triple M. It's just, I've got nothing to say. It's painful to speak. I've got mouth ulcer. So let's just see what happens, is it? Let's just see what happens. Call straight to air. Let's try line 1. Good evening, line 1.
Good evening, Iain and Katherine. It's Dreamweaver.
Hello, Dreamweaver.
Good evening, Dreamweaver.
Good evening to you too.
Weave me a dream.
Your peacefulness. Sorry.
Weave me a dream.
Weave you a dream. I think you're doing that well yourself, both of you. I'm so proud to be listening to you both every single night. I'm so proud to be telling people that I listen to you both, and I get so much from it. You've helped. I deal with anxiety. I deal with loads and loads of stuff, autism a lot, and listening to you both and listening to your callers and how much admiration they have for you. You're weaving your own dreams.
Oh, so you're refusing to weave me a dream?
I can weave you a dream catcher for your home.
Oh.
Yeah, your other one's full, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have one, do you?
No.
No. Oh, no. Well, that's what I do. I'm Dreamcatcher, Dreamweaver. So, yeah.
Well, you should change the name to Dreamcatcher, Dreamweaver then, instead of just Dreamweaver. I thought you weaved dreams. You don't. You weave Dreamcatcher
that's the
dreams.
Name I was given. See, that's the name I was given, and that's the name it's been hard to take on for many years. And I changed my name from Andrew, so it's a long story.
Well, here's what we should do, right? You have a kid, and you give them a temporary name. And then when they get to 16, they can go...
Do you think 16 is wise?
I think 16 is very wise. So you got a kid and you call them Andrew, and that's just so you got something to call them, right? Andrew. Then at 16, you can say to them, right, now you've got a year in which you can change your name to anything you want. If Andrew works for you, that would be a weird coincidence because we chose it before we knew you properly. But you could stick with that, or you can come up with anything. You've got a year where you can just try any name you want, any combination to see what works. And at the end of the year, you go, right, I want to be called Dreamweaver. You go, right, fine, and then you become Dreamweaver.
Yeah, but I could never. As a child, as a teenager, I did think I would like another name. And I was being called Andy and all sorts of stuff. And so when it came to, I went to a Native American powwow, see, and I spent time with a Native American elder, and he said that I was weaving the dreams for my communities. You should take on the name Dreamweaver. It will help you. And that went on for a number of years. And then I decided, because I had 2 children, I had a child, and so I wanted to get a passport and everything. So I changed it. I did take on the name Dreamweaver, and it's been tough. And that's what I am now.
Dreamweaver is the name on your passport?
It is, yeah, and on my bank, yeah.
Good for you.
And do you have a surname, or you just...
Oh, can I... Yeah.
No, you don't need to give it, but I just want...
The solstice.
Oh, right, okay.
Dreamweaver the solstice.
It's the solstice, as in of the family solstice.
The solstice.
Posh.
Okay.
Yeah, as in de Berg. There I say it. Oh, he's a lovely man. I met him a few times, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tiny man, though, isn't he?
I was loving your peacefulness and everything tonight, and yeah.
Very nice
you help a lot.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your kind words.
That last chap that called in and was in Marrakesh and that, were the people nice in Marrakesh?
When I went to Marrakesh, some of them were nice, some of them were a-holes, just like anywhere. You know, some of them were nice, some of them were not nice.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't like Marrakesh. I was really disappointed with Marrakesh. Really disappointed, actually. Glad I went. I went up in a hot air balloon at dawn over the desert. That was stunning. But the rest of it, I mean, I came home 2 days early, I think, 'cause it was just not great.
It's hot, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was hot. Whoa, it was bloody hot. A lot of snakes in baskets in the square.
And it looked like you had nice breakfast.
A breakfast. I mean, the food was great, but there was just nothing. I didn't really have anything to do. I would just go and sit in the square and drink coffee, and then go to the next cafe and drink coffee, and then go to the next cafe and drink coffee, and then buy large sellotapes, and then yeah, it was just. It was not. I didn't dig it.
Thing is, I go to places and I sort of don't pretend, but I become sort of a host. I become, hello, how are you?
Wow.
And I sort of build up, and I make my own fun. I make my own thing, and then I find myself into little communities, and that's really good. So it helps me.
I was in a weird headspace when I went, and maybe if I went again, I won't. But it would be.
Well, the thing is, you've gone through a lot, haven't you? You've gone through a lot more than I have.
No, I don't know about that. It's life, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
it's life. Go and weave yourself a dream, Dreamweaver.
Well, I tell you what, yeah. Another day, I would like to talk about my 2 children being taken away from their mother and I. But if that's all right, no, that's a tough one to deal with. But I'm dealing with that, and that's been 10 years now. So yeah.
Flipping heck. When was the last time you saw him? 10 years ago.
2013. Yeah.
Gosh.
I'd like to be able to discuss it one day, because I know that there's so many families out there that have been completely destroyed by this, and it continues. But I'm a huge campaigner for it, but I'm not wanting to disturb anybody else's lives with it.
No, but why? You know what I mean? May I ask why they were taken away from you?
The reasons at the High Court were at risk of emotional neglect and at risk of emotional abuse. No actual harm, just at risk of it. And it was a lifestyle that the mother and I were living, and we were living on a boat on land, and,
So?
And they didn't like it.
A boat on land?
Just got against the... Yeah, it was a battleship tugboat from the Second World War.
But living on a boat on land isn't simply enough to take your kids away. What was your lifestyle then? Were you on drugs? What was it?
No, the mother was, I didn't know this, was working for adult social services, and we didn't want to go and see a doctor. I'm from Glastonbury, and my partner at the time was also from Glastonbury Star. Do you know what I mean? If you've been to the town, then you sort of know what I'm talking about.
Crystals, man.
And it's beautiful, and I was there just the other week again. So because we bring that lifestyle with us, and we don't want intervention, we've got people that will look after us, doulas, midwives that aren't registered, if you like, and people like that, and Reiki masters. And
so you wouldn't take your kids...
We didn't want to. No, we didn't want to go and see somebody and be forced to get a scan and do all this and do all that. No.
Well, hang on. So they were taken from birth.
No, my eldest got to the age of 5, and my youngest got to the age of 3.
But was the But was there an incident then? Were they ill or something and their life was at risk and you refusing to go to a doctor?
No, we were refusing to have any intervention at the birth, and so they had police there and all this. It was a build-up.
Wow.
Ian. It was a build-up over... It was one of the longest-running cases, adoption cases, that's on record. But we went to the High Court, and we went there so many times, as litigants in person. We dealt with it ourselves, citizens' advice. We had some help from some barrister friends that were very good, and human rights lawyers and things like that. But, a long case, and it turned Mother and I against each other. And that's what finished it off.
Why did it turn you against the mother? Because she was prepared to compromise and you weren't, or you just... The stress of it.
They would go to her privately and talk to her when I wasn't around, and then they would talk to me when I wasn't, and say, "Well, Annie said this, and so and so said this." And sorry, I shouldn't say her name. I'm sorry.
That's right. No one knows who she is. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you've gone through that. That must be very tough.
I'm very strong, and so is the mother. We're not talking, but we're very, very strong people, and we prove that to all of our friends and to ourselves mostly.
Yeah.
And to the courts, because we were highly commended by the president in the courts of the Children's Family Division. Highly commended for our attitude in court, for our presentations, everything. Yeah. But it's everyone had to go against us because that's their job. See.
Well, you throw that little nugget in just as we're about to go. I mean, it's not necessarily jobs to go against people. I do like to think that the majority of these cases that is the children's best interests at heart. But I don't know the details of this. Hey, listen, I've got to go. Give us a call next week.
Yeah. I love you guys so much.
Hey, come on! Get out of here! See you later, Dreamweaver.
Beautiful. I look forward to hearing your Monday. Love you lots.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
There we go. Martin Kelner's in there.
Yeah, everybody loves you.
Hey, Martin.
Isn't that fantastic?
Martin.
You're not wearing headphones. You're like Frasier. I expect to see Roz out there.
It depends.
Maybe Daphne wandering in.
Sometimes I take them off. I can hear through these.
Yeah.
And it just creates a slightly different.
Yeah, it does.
Vibe
It does.
for
Yeah,
me.
it was very Frasier-like. I walked in here and I thought that could be.
I think
except
Kath
he's a little
looks
heftier than you. He's quite.
Well, I'm getting there. Kath looks like his producer. Is it Roz's producer? I think Kath looks a bit like Roz. Kath has got a hint of the Roz.
Although Roz is a very wild child, wasn't she? I mean, Roz used to.
Catherine's a dirty so-and-so.
Is she?
This guy.
This guy.
Well, there you are.
What's on your show, Martin Kell? We're both a bit tired, a bit flagging a little bit, so excuse our...
I think the whole nation is flagging a little bit. I'm always flagging. So I'm now in tune with the rest of the nation, because I'm always flagging. Well, what's in the show? We'll talk about...
How many notes have you got? What the...
He works very hard.
He's got a sheaf of papers. Look at this.
My favourite story is the Dutchman who tried to... Did you read this story?
No.
It's beautiful. A Dutchman tried to use a Monopoly get-out-of-jail-free card to avoid being sent to prison. The Dutch are so wacky.
Yeah.
Even the ones that aren't out of it. But he tried to use this card to avoid getting sent to prison for violating his probation. He was arrested on New Year's Day for creating a disturbance at his ex-wife's house. It's a very Dutch thing to do as well, I think, on New Year's Day. It might even be a national festival there. And the officer said he put the card on the desk and asked to be released just the once. They had a laugh with him and then locked him up.
And beat the crap
Of course they did. Of course they did.
That's don't do drugs, kids. That's
precisely.
That's what else have you got apart from
nothing?
Dutchmen?
That little one story.
That's just that for 4 hours.
That is going to try and sustain me for 4 hours.
I know you can do it.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me, see if you can do a whole 4 hours on this Dutchman. We have got some other stuff. We're talking about the Chinese who've obviously discovered the dark side. They've been to the dark side of the moon.
There's no factories or buildings on there, as the conspiracy theorists thought. This is what they've been saying for years. Or we know there's a reason we don't see the dark side of the moon, because there's buildings on it.
But there isn't.
There's nothing there. Unfortunate.
So, we'll get half an hour out of that, though. And even if there is nothing there.
Yes, good.
And marriage guidance by robots say that artificial intelligence is so advanced these days. They reckon that if your marriage is in trouble, an AI can deal with it better than a human.
I've spoken to those chatbots online. What is your problem? My heating has gone off. And I don't know if that could save a marriage.
I think they're becoming more sophisticated than that now. Right. I don't know how long ago that was, but you've got local councils now who use AIs to answer queries. You phone up, and you've no idea that it's not a human being.
But you remember those early ones they used to use for the cinema? I think you said Rocky V.
Yes.
No, you didn't. You said something completely different.
Well, there's a whole Seinfeld episode about that.
Oh, is there?
Oh, yeah,
it's a brilliant one.
Right, well, listen, Martin Kellner is up after 1 o'clock. Have a lovely weekend, Mr. Kellner. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Sam. Thank you to nearly all of the callers that took part tonight. We shall be back on Monday, but stay tuned. Coming after the news at 1, it's Martin Kellner on Talk Radio.